Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important, just a question asker. I'm just a question asker. My name is Raheem here out of Atlanta, Georgia. But we got my brother from another mother, but we got the same father on the line with us this morning already, ready to go. Watch all this energy. All the energy is going to come through the speakers, through everything. Good morning, Badger. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Let's rock some brains.
There you go. There you go. Badger, how was your evening?
Uh, it was pretty darn cool.
Yeah, yeah, I had a
Got
lot.
to chill out with some friends and have a lot of fun conversations
That's good. That's
as
good.
always.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, man. I had a good evening as well. Let me refresh because my screen is a little grainy. It looks a little grainy. So hold on, Badger. Talk for about 2 minutes, about a minute and a half. I'm gonna refresh my screen. Let me
All
pull you
right.
up. If you can pull your cam up too, so they can see you. Can you pull your cam for a minute?
Unfortunately, I can't.
Okay, keep talking.
Got to respect the rules of the house.
There you go. Keep talking.
Um, man, as far as yesterday evening, I got to ended up learning a whole bunch of new stuff about perceptions and the way different people can think and the way people how important tones, presentation, and words can change an entire conversation.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, and how if you are dealing with things or if it's a skill that you're not as well versed as others are, it can cause some issues.
Mm-hmm.
So it requires the an open mind from on both sides because not everyone talk. Go ahead.
When you say both sides, and that should automatically instantly mean both sides. But both sides willing to listen, because what we was talking about yesterday about I think it was last night or maybe Morning Glow. I don't know what, man. I do so many shows that we run
We
together
didn't have
sometimes.
morning glow yesterday.
Huh?
We didn't do morning glow yesterday.
Okay, so it was a real man being man. We talked about what does it mean to win, and a lot of times see winning is one thing, but what is in conversation and debates or whatever the case, life, what does it really mean to win, and at what extent do you think people will go to win? Because a lot of times, even in an argument, two people when they're arguing, both of them think they're right. One of them or both of them, Badger, could be wrong to a certain level, to a certain degree. And so, what does it mean to win? And even in that, when you say with an open mind, when you say with an open mind, a lot of times people are not going to go into it with an open mind because they already have their mind made up about what they're saying is absolute and what they're saying is the truth. And they're not. Sometimes, a lot of time, people are not willing to waver or shake or even listen to the other person's perspective. What do you say to that?
I think there are that happens quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
But one of the things I've learned through, as you well know, I take things very literal,
Yes.
and I'm an active researcher. I
Mm-hmm.
research too much, to
Mm-hmm.
be honest. And one of the things I've learned is a lot of times people don't thoroughly research things.
Mm-hmm.
And when facts are presented, they can be so stuck in a certain thought process or only willing to accept things in a certain way
Their
that
way.
their way. Everything is what is the word for that? Um closed. Closed to anything new. Like you have the rose colored glasses people, you've got the extreme left, extreme right. and just so on and so on. You got that in different beliefs, like even even with indigenous, you've got the traditionalist, and then you've got the new age, and then you've got this, and you got this, and you know, I don't run across a lot of people that actually have a mindset, or they work hard to have a mindset of, if I'm wrong, teach me.
Mm-hmm.
Like they like to be wrong. They're open enough to acknowledge that they can't know everything, and they want to learn whatever they can.
Okay. Now I don't know. That may be a tad bit of. I know what you meant when you said it, but that could be a tad bit of a stretch to say that they like being wrong. I don't think they like being wrong. They just only they just won't accept the fact that they're not right. Because some people, they're I've seen people. We talked about this last night. I've seen people, man, that they're loud. They get so loud, and they're yelling and screaming, trying to make their point. They're just all out of the pocket, but they're wrong. And so I've told people many times, because I'm not gonna, if somebody getting all loud, I'm not gonna get loud, man. I'm not gonna do all that. I look at them straight in the face. I say, look here, because you're loud don't mean you're right. Only thing that means is only thing that means is you're loud and you're wrong. So a lot of people can't accept that. But go ahead, Patrick.
And that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
I've only came across a handful that you give them information that goes against what they think, or what they've done, or what they've
Mm-hmm.
researched, and they go, "Huh, I'll look into that."
Mm-hmm.
You know, only a handful.
Yeah.
I don't. I no. I think I can count on two hands
Mm-hmm.
out of all the people I've come across. Because
Mm-hmm.
most of the time the response is, "I know what I'm talking about, so therefore you're wrong."
Mm-hmm.
Let's say
Yeah.
like the dollar bill thing, right? The
Mm-hmm.
money situation that we have. We're carrying around IOUs.
Yes. Absolutely.
You know how many people have looked at me and go, "We're not in debt.
Oh.
Those those dollar bills ain't an IOU. What are you talking about? You're
Mm-hmm.
wrong." And I'm going, "Huh? Were you not taught this in school?"
Mm-hmm.
And like it's for me, it's not a I'm trying to be right. It's me trying to understand, where's it. Here's this information in our history where during the Great Depression, you know, these IOUs were created, which ended up becoming the dollar bill, and now we have hundreds and everything else under the sun.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And when I'm looking at that and I'm going, here's actual facts.
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, there's a difference between a perception of a fact and the acceptance of what the fact is.
Mm-hmm. That's good. That's good. Let me go to Brother Pete. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How y'all doing? I hope you can hear me.
Yes, hear you loud and clear. Loud and clear. Yes, sir.
DKM Morning Glow, radio panel, Facebook. How all y'all doing this morning?
doing good, sir. What actual value? What actual value does money have?
What actual value does one have?
Money. What does the money have?
Well, okay, well, it's different forms of money, first of all. But money in concept of being just simply what it is, it's a tool used to barter, trade, buy, sell, purchase. It's a medium in between for exchange.
Mm-hmm.
Money can make things easier, but money doesn't solve all things.
Mm-hmm.
When you amass great wealth, you have great issues.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're living a more mediocre life, you might have some struggles, but over time, hopefully you'll settle down within yourself and be able to budget and manage, and it just smooths out. Hopefully the worries subside when you're able to simply just enjoy living. But oftentimes, certainly in this Western society here in the United States, we're given a perception that having great monetary assessments and gatherings is to be pursued, is what is pushed to be desired, but they don't tell us the trouble and the problems that come with that.
Do you believe
So,
do you believe what, like Biggie said, more money, more problems? Do you believe that?
that's most definitely true. I'm talking about that's absolutely true.
Wow.
Absolutely true. Some of your people in your local cities who own restaurants, they may have started a mom and pop set up and have a chain. You would be shocked to know the protocol that they have to go through because they have amassed, some standing financially. Their whole life has changed. So it's not what we think. People win the lottery and they end up broke.
Yes, sir.
Because they don't understand how to budget money and manage it. You get 1 billion new friends and all type of stuff. So I don't want to get off the subject, but what I want to say to that is everyday normal life, a husband, wife, child, having a structure, a home or something that you all have, and being able to spend time with each other, make those memories and have those special little moments in the kitchen, in the bathroom, cleaning the floor, washing the dishes, whatever, mowing the grass. That's the most fulfilling in this life that you can actually have. It's not about the money. Money does make things easier. It's fun to have all the money that you can imagine and do whatever you want to do. But understand that it's a season to that and it gets old. You can have a pretty woman and then see a more beautiful woman. And you can get her. Then you can get tired of her, go get another one. Okay, there's no end to that. Ask Hugh Hefner. He was ready to die. He was tired. He wasn't impressed with no more pretty women. He had seen them all. He was moving on to something else. He liked to smoke his pipe more than he liked to be around them pretty women.
Wow.
Smoking his tobacco was more fulfilling in his older years.
Wow.
And he was beyond wealthy.
Exactly. Let me go to Ryan. Ryan, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning? Okay, there you go. Let me pull you up here. Let me pull you up. There you go.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
What up, though? Doing good.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, we asking a question, man. What absolute value does money have?
Money has no absolute value because your money gone before you get it.
That's right through your hands. Exactly. Did I even touch it?
Money is a double-edged sword. It's good and bad. I done been the poorest of the poor. I ain't never been rich, so I can't tell you what it feels like to have a bunch of money, but I know what it feels like to be moderately comfortable and be able to pay my bills.
Now hold on. Now I have to get a little pushback on that because I think right now you're very rich.
Oh yeah, I got a full quiver if that's what you mean. I got kids and a wonderful wife, so in that aspect, I'm filthy rich. I'm wonderfully blessed.
Exactly. See that, and that's the part that we talk about money and talk about the value of money, but we don't want to get to the point where we miss all the other things too, because like I said, you have a beautiful family, man, beautiful home, your kids and everybody is healthy. And so to me, that's rich. That's rich because not everybody can say that. Now, some people can have more money. Some people can have more money, and that's okay. Some people can have more money, but at the same time, do they have peace? Do they have they walk in? Do they have that peace when they walk in their home?
Right, but you specifically said money.
I did. But you know how y'all throw stuff in there, man. I said, hold on, man, because I listen to every word, and I really do listen to every word y'all say, man. And so, I have to. But go ahead, brother.
Yeah, if I could have more money, I would do that. But I'm at the age now where I know how to manage it, and I know what I need to do and what I don't need to do. So would I be okay? Yeah, I wouldn't want to be no billionaire because that's a lot of trouble I don't want. But I take up $1 million.
I'm gonna tell you something, and this might sound crazy. We're gonna go back to Badger, but this might sound crazy to a lot of people that's listening. Maybe even sound crazy to you when you hear it. But if I get a few $1,000,000 or $1 billion or something like that, my first plan of action would leave America. I would leave America, man. I wouldn't want to stay here.
I can't agree with you.
I know it. I
It-
know it.
it-
I know it.
the grass seemed greener on the other side all the ways. Okay,
Mhm.
you may be able to take that money and go to I'm trying to get the quotes in there, third world country,
Mhm.
right, and live like a king. But there's more things that are right here than are wrong.
Mhm.
And I mean, there's plenty of places that when I look at them, man, that place is gorgeous. I could spend the rest of my life there. I could
Mhm.
never leave the United States. I just can't.
Mhm.
There's a reason why everybody tried to come here.
But see, and I'm going to go to Badger. Excuse me. But see that it's easy to say that because that's what you're familiar with. But to go out there and explore other places and see other things and how other people live their lives and stuff like that, and to experience different things, you may get there and absolutely love it and say, "I don't know why I did not come here years ago."
Yeah, it's possible. Maybe on the next go round, I'll explain to you. I'll explain to you how
Talk to
they
someone
build
next lifetime.
things in Germany as
Okay.
opposed to here. And it sounds
Mhm.
wonderful, but there's caveats to all of that
Mhm.
stuff.
Okay. When you said next year, when I thought you were talking about like Erica Badu, Next Lifetime. I thought that's what you was talking about. That's why I laughed when you said that. But but Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
Man, thinking about what you just said, I was also thinking about what we were first talking about
Mm-hmm.
is the conversation stuff as
Mm-hmm.
well. I sent you a link that
I saw
probably
that.
explains it in such a wild way of how perception works.
Mm-hmm.
Um, which even goes into the money scenario. Um, man, I'm sitting here thinking, where all would I go if I had that much money? I don't know
Mm-hmm.
if I'd be able to leave because I'd want to help people too much.
You can help people all over the world, brother.
I know. Um, I've had the privilege to talk to so many people from around the world, and it is just like here in America. It depends on where you live.
Mm-hmm.
Some states are better than others.
Yeah.
Have a friend of mine that had a decent job and got help from the state being in Colorado. Now
Mm-hmm.
he's, you know, he's in Texas. Texas ain't no fun. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so everywhere you would go, it's going to be having to look at pros and cons. What are the pros there? What are the cons? And just like money, there's a pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
You know, some people it corrupts, and some it may not. I mean, I know more ever since I don't know if you've ever watched NASCAR, but a dude
Yeah,
named
I have.
Dale
Mm-hmm.
Earnhardt, you know, he was somebody that had a good bit of money,
Mm-hmm.
and he would pave church parking lots and things like that. And he'd tell them, if you tell anyone that I did this, I'll
Mm-hmm.
come with a bulldozer myself.
Now, Dale Earnhardt, isn't that the Intimidator?
Yes, sir.
Okay. 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 See, man, come on, man. Ask me, do I know it? Come on, man. You play with
I
me,
didn't
man.
know if you watched NASCAR.
Come on, man. Man. I try to be universal, man. I don't set limitations or boundaries for myself, man.
So
Yeah.
when I'm saying that to say that there are people that have that kind of money that are helping people,
Mm-hmm.
and we never know that they are. They're not, on media bragging about it. They're not, you know, trying to get the limelight. Hey, I donated this amount of money,
Mm-hmm.
because we've come to learn that even though they say it, doesn't mean that they did
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
it.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
And a lot of time.
it's sorry.
Go ahead, man. Finish your thought, brother.
So to me, like I brought up earlier, the dollar bill is an IOU,
Mm-hmm.
and that's the way I view it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was something that has been hard for me most of my life to understand why so many people take advantage of other human beings to get an IOU and not hold the government accountable for it. So we're given this perception that money has this value when every time they print another wave of, paper, it depreciates.
Mm-hmm.
Like to me, if a person lets that sink in, that every time they print more, it depreciates, how much is a dollar bill actually worth?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Rico said, did you see what Rico said? He said,
No.
just because NASCAR was unwelcoming didn't mean we didn't watch it. Watch Lawrence Welk, Hee Haw, and Johnny and Johnny Carson.
Oh my God, Hee Haw.
Hee Haw was something, man. Yo, and I watched it. I definitely watched it as well, man. So it's crazy. It's crazy. Let me go. As a matter of fact, there he is right there. Rico, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
I can't complain, man. Just enjoying another beautiful new day. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good. Did you get some rest, brother?
Man, plenty, man. I made up for it last night, man. I made up for it last night, man. I know good well. I know I had to go to sleep like maybe 11:30.
Okay.
And I don't think I turned, man. I woke up man, like 5 something this morning, man. So
okay.
Yeah, I got it last night, man. I definitely got me some sleep last night.
Yeah, I was worried about you, brother. You know, it was hitting you. It was hitting you. I could tell you was tired. I could tell you was tired. Mm-hmm. But we talking about the value. What absolute value does money have?
To me, it has no value. But we've been manipulated into thinking it has a value. It's funny that you're bringing this up, man, because I was thinking about this night before last and yesterday morning.
Mm-hmm.
Man has been manipulated into valuing manufactured goods over natural goods.
Mm-hmm.
We value manufactured goods over what God naturally created.
Come on.
And it's I'm going to give you the first example of it. The first example, it's not the first example, but it's one of the biggest examples, and we see the results of it today. The slave trade.
Mm-hmm.
Those people, the black people that actually did the trading with the colonizers, got manipulated by the manufactured goods. Who manufactured the goods?
Mm-hmm.
Same system in play.
Yeah.
Back then, they had a system of trade that was in bartering.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Many people had a system of trade that was built in bartering, but somebody came up with this thing called currency, a man-made creation, aka a manufactured good.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, you see more people focused and valuing that manufactured good than the natural resource, which is the people.
Yes.
Living things, life.
Mm-hmm.
Something that you can manufacture, you can play a part in creating life, but we still trying to find out how life was created. We can't even do that. But the things we can create, mankind has tended to start valuing those things more than the things that's most important.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that easy. It's to the point now to where if see what happened when that slave trade thing happened is somebody said, hey, look at those guns and look at those bright, shiny things that those people made. We want some of those too. Some of it look fun. Some of it look convenient. Some of it looks like it's very beneficial. In a way, it's something new. Let's do this. Let's get this and trade people.
Mm-hmm.
Something ain't right with that.
Yeah. The mindset, the whole mindset, is off.
So now we got this thing about righteousness and good being delivered and saved and all these different things, treating people the way we want to be treated. And then we look at things like selling drugs and pimping and prostituting is something negative. But for the right amount of manufactured paper with numbers on it, right now people are going on a website selling their own tail.
Yeah.
School teachers, couples, you name it. If people say it like it's a joke right now, you know what? I gotta apologize, man, because I thought about something bad to say the other day about not going into the lie thing. You know, we had that little game going on about, you know, picking out which one was the lie and which two were the truth.
Mm-hmm.
And I sort of got him to understand it more when he said that about, you know, when I brought it up about the true or false statements.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So he was like, okay, I get it. But then I had to go back and think about it. And that was an instance that came up to me where I was like, man, I shouldn't have participated in that. I shouldn't have indulged.
Mm-hmm.
And just the fact that I even gave that first little small part some energy, it still contributed to the larger end. Because sooner, I mean, a little bit on down the road, it started seeming like more people started enabling themselves or allowing certain things to happen based on the fact you say, oh, okay, just let that slide. That ain't that big a deal. And we know this concept about it. If you give somebody an inch and they'll take a mile.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I had to think about what he was saying, man, because, you know, I actually caught myself in a situation pretty much very similar. Well, I either did something or was thinking about doing something, and I was like, oh, that ain't that big a deal. Oh, well, you know, I think I was thinking about us coming up, the music we listened to, how we thought it was okay to listen to Luke Skywalker Too Short. Oh, it's just music.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't no big deal.
Mm-hmm.
But now that thing that's not a big deal is such a big deal nowadays. We complaining about that atmosphere and that mindset that has evolved to something on steroids. They ain't just talking. It was happening back in the past, but now it's more normal. And that's what happens when you start creating an atmosphere where you could tell lies or give falsehoods as joke is justified, because sooner or later other people will find ways to still continue that same activity. So I sort of want to, you know, apologize, because I know I did come off a little aggressive the other day when I had said that I didn't want to hear what he was talking about, because I had a situation yesterday, and it's going to come to me, but I had a situation yesterday morning that did click to me to the point where I was like, okay, I get it. You know, we do need to be consistent.
Yeah.
You know, sometimes you really cannot entertain some things that may seem small, but you know they'll blossom into something big, like manufactured goods. This value that we have for manufactured goods has blossomed into something so out of control. Like right now, women will go on OnlyFans and pimp themselves. I think it was on Backpage or Craigslist a few years ago. That was women trying to sell their virginity.
Yep.
Think about that.
Wow.
Right now, our conversation is about money.
Exactly. And so that's the whole thing, man. It's a lot of different layers to everything we talk about, and we're gonna. This is the way I went, so ain't no telling where we're going today. This is the way I went, so Mr. Hicks, you get ready, so ain't no telling where we gonna go this morning. Mr. Hicks, good morning, sir. Cassandra, come to you next. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem. Good morning, Glow family. Pray everybody's doing well.
Hey, doing well. Good to have you, sir. We asking a question, man. What absolute value does money have?
Absolute. Money is an idea, a concept. It's sort of evolved when people found it easier in barter to carry around things to barter while they travel. You know, then they had somebody say, look, put your money here with us and we'll give you a little note, hold your money for you. And this money's gonna be backed by gold. So it had a value, it had an intrinsic value long as it was on the gold standard. But once it got off the gold standard, it became an idea now, because the bank would take your money that you deposit, they would loan it out about 5 or 6 times, increasing an idea, a concept, a digital idea of money. But it don't have absolute or intrinsic value, but it has the value that you can exchange it for goods and service.
Now the value that it has, did we as individuals enhance that and give it more value in the way that we quote unquote praised it and put it on a pedestal?
Oh yeah, I mean that's the in God we trust on it, because it was saying that it's the God, that this dollar is the God, and it's a trust because it's not backed by anything. It's just a promissory note. They promise to pay you this, but so it's it's the God. It's the God that folks worship, like we go just saying. I mean, I saw that
Mhm.
thing. People selling their virginity.
Yeah.
You got people running around kidnapping people, cutting their hearts out and cutting different parts out.
Mm-hmm.
The whole sex trade, the whole slavery thing that's still going on in a deeper sense. But
Mm-hmm.
it's the dollars. It's worshiping that God, the dollar.
Wow. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Good morning, TikTok. We got you over there, TikTok. We see you. Give us a call, 508-924-3521. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, what absolute value does money have?
Yeah, I've been listening and I'm gonna just throw this out there. The next time you get ready, even if it's on a credit card, it's money. If it's still considered money, it's a bargaining tool. I want to see somebody go to the gas station or to the grocery store, or to buy a bed for your house, and do it without money.
Mm-hmm.
Now there are places that you can still barter, like the Amish, they still do bartering more so than cash, and even they have had to use some cash because they've been buying things outside their community, in essence.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm curious is, yeah, it has value. It has value. We no longer use the bartering system per se, as some people have mentioned. We moved on from that. I would love to see bartering come back,
Yes.
but the reality of bartering coming back is almost non-existent in the amount of people that we have on the planet. I'm just saying, just think about that. Some of us may never have the ability to own property where we can grow our own food, because I live in an apartment and I have a small patio. So you can grow. I can grow a little something out there, but it's not going to be probably to the extent that I could go and barter with somebody. I don't know. Money has value. Point blank. It ain't no way to get around it. It has value. We use it until something changes in the entire society. We're going to have to use it for our basic. I'm not talking about anything extreme. For our very basic needs, we need money. Very basic. Nothing fancy. No fancy car. No big house. Nothing. Just the basic needs. We need that value.
Okay. Now, Cassandra, do we give money more value than what it initially started out as? Did we increase the value of it because of the fact that we loved it so much, and we knew the quote unquote possibility of things that we could do once we obtain it?
Absolutely. I mean, that's why people work so hard and to get it, because we know that with it we can do other things, or things that we never dreamed we could do. That's why, especially our young people now, they fight so hard to make the dollar bill. And you have older people that are still, it's all about trying to make the dollar bill. So if that is where we have placed that value, it will continue, and it's growing. It's growing. It's not decreasing. The need for money, not just the need, the desire has increased. And let me give you one good example. And I respect this young baby. She's a baby to me, and I've never said anything negative about her. Beyonce made $24 million in 1 hour for a concert. 24. Think about that now. I mean, just think about that. 24 million for 1 hour concert in Dubai.
Wow.
What kind of value does that place, and what does that place in the mindset of young people, when now everybody is all out trying, whether they can sing, whether they can dance, whatever, they just want to make that kind of money.
how
we
much?
place that value on it.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
you
That's
know,
yeah,
I
yeah.
don't, you
We
know,
placed it.
I don't know.
Yeah, we placed it. But how much? You know, to even to hear that, my mind immediately went to a thing of programming, because we're programming these kids a certain way. That we program these kids to think that you could go out there and do the things that Beyonce do, you like her, love her, hate her, or whatever it is. But all the things that she do is not always above the board or above ground and honest, if you want to put it in that category. But how are we valuing? What is our value system, man? And, you know, that there's so many different ways I want to go with this, man. I'm trying to be real careful as to how I go with it. But where is the value system?
Well,
Can I-
obviously, someone sees value in what she does. Because you have the prince or whoever that was that paid the $24 million for her to perform.
Mhm.
They saw a lot of value in what she does. $24 million for performance. They saw an extreme amount of value in her dancing and her singing, whatever.
Mhm.
So, I mean, you know, I was thinking about going and trying out for her dance team. I don't know.
There
I
you go.
mean, I'm just saying. You
See-
know, she making that kind of money for our work.
Okay.
But really, in all reality, it's just is where we are right now.
Yeah, yeah, and it is really a sad reality that we place so much value on what is really a small piece of paper. I could take this piece of paper right here, which is another piece of paper, but it have no value. It has no value. It's a piece of paper, but you take that piece of paper because it's printed a certain way. You add all this value on it. What's the difference? Both from a piece of paper. Both of them come from a tree. But I understand. I understand what you're saying. Was Dave Chappelle wrong? Was he wrong when he walked away from that $50 million? Well, some people say he was wrong, man. You should have took that money, but he wasn't willing. He wasn't willing or ready to sell in that way. Cassandra?
Oh, I thought you was going on to somebody else. You know, everybody has to make their choice as to how to do it. Some people, their values mean more to them, you know, and their integrity, their stand, whatever they believe in, means more to them than the paper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, good.
Bravo
good.
to those people, and I commend those people.
Mm-hmm.
But then there are other people that they will do whatever. Man, they would have took that $50 million and done and said whatever needed to be said and done, and keep it moving for that hour and a half or whatever it was, 2 shows or whatever, and kept it moving. But
And-
it's just whatever your value system is, that's what you're going to do.
Exactly. And they would have put on that dress, you know, and like I said, and me, I don't care how much money you put on the table. I'm not putting on no dress, man. I'm not putting on no dress. There got to be another way to do this here outside of me putting on that dress. But let me go to Tucson. look at Mr. Hicks. Mr. Hicks, I'm not putting on that dress, brother. I'm not putting it on. It ain't for me. It wasn't made for me.
Steve Harvey won't put on a dress neither. He said, but here at the biggest monkey, he can act.
There you go. Exactly. Tucson, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Doing well.
Asking the question, man, what absolute value does money have?
You know what? There are some things that I don't worry about. Now, y'all talking about 2 different types. It sounds like 2 different type of value systems that we have. I go to work every day. Some people say, "Well, why you ain't never a slave?" Okay, I'm not stealing.
Mm-hmm.
Keep myself out of jail by keeping a roof over my head. I like lights. I like warm water. I like the temperature to be right in the house.
Mm-hmm.
I like to be able to at least have a light switch to turn it on, and when I want to turn it on, it comes. That's what I like. I don't want my kids hungry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now I go to work. Now listen to me carefully. There is a way people operate at the job that I work at.
Mm-hmm.
But I expect for what I do, when I finish, the week's over, and my time is put in, whatever you say that you're gonna pay me at the end of the day, per day, however I work, when I go to my bank account, that better be in there. Now, let me tell you, let me go a little further. I'm going to do my job, but you will not talk to me any kind of way.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Ain't gonna happen.
I'm going to act up on you in a minute. I'm like, you supposed to be what? Supposed to be what? You better back up off me. Real. And I'm going to tell you one more time. Now, when you talk about value, I'm not going to be, yes, sir. You know, well, I'm paying you for me to talk to you. No, you're not.
Yeah.
No, you're not.
No.
Now, wait a minute. So, y'all got into a conversation about putting on a dress, and I think it's morals and standards that we're talking about now.
Yeah.
Morals and standards.
Would you put on a
That
dress?
are something that I will not do
Will you
for
put on
the
a
same
dress?
price.
Will you put on a
what
dress to
somebody
something?
else will do.
Will you put on a dress to
No.
something?
No.
No. Exactly.
No. Now I put on a wig I think I went to a birthday party, and I was trying to dress like Captain and the Nick, whatever the guys, Ashford and Simpson. So in order to look kind of like Ashford, I put me a wig on. Okay, it's a dude. It's a dude. If they wanted me to play the woman, then I can't do that.
Yeah.
That's a standard, a different type of value system that I live on. You can't pay me to do that. Okay.
Exactly.
So I'm listening, but let me say this: when it comes to the dollar bill, if it's I don't care if it's a debit card, a credit card, there's an honor system we live by. Y'all got to excuse the background noise.
All of a sudden, after 6 years, I work for a living.
Wow.
That's another thing. Being over, per se, a crew or some people. I've made the decision to not. You know why? I can make more money not doing it.
Yeah, you go.
I didn't. 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I didn't want to work. I wanted to tell somebody to get it done for a certain amount of money, set price. Good money, I think.
Yeah.
I think for not doing nothing. That was I decided to do. When I checked my account, it was in there. I was satisfied. Okay. But now I answer to me. I do my job. I ain't got to worry about nobody else. And it's kind of tossed in what I'm saying.
Excuse me.
I don't care who don't honor it.
Thank you.
Who don't think that the dollar bill is? You can give me $1 million worth of nickels. If I take them nickels to the bank,
thank you,
and I check my bank account, and they say I got $1 million, I don't care.
Lord.
That ain't got nothing to do with me. That's somebody else's problem. That's too much thinking. I'm just saying. I could care less if I want to transfer that money and put it on a credit card or debit card or whatever.
Preacher.
And I go to wherever it is, and they say, yes, sir, you got it.
Preacher.
You ain't got nothing. The rest of it don't have nothing to do with me. Bye. Okay, I'm done.
Preacher.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm just saying.
Okay. All right, let me go. We got a few people.
Y'all think too much.
We got a few
I'm
people.
not saying y'all, but some people.
Preacher. We got a few people on the phone line. Please be patient. I'm trying to make my circle and get everybody in. I know a few of you been waiting on for a minute. But Curtis, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, what up, family? How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good. We miss you, brother. Good to have you back, man. Definitely good to have you back with us. We asking a question, Curtis. What absolute value does money have?
I took down some notes. Money has no value. Its value is determined by man. Value is not finite. The variable determines the value. The easiest way to look at it in a realistic term, in a term of reality, it kind of lines exactly up. It kind of lines up exactly with what Rico was saying, right? Just to give you an example is, you look at, for example, the VCR or the DVD. When the VCR and the DVD first came out, the value was $1,000+.
Yes.
As more companies got involved and created more DVDs and more VCRs, then the value of that very same DVD and VCR that you had bought when it first came out started to decrease. Right?
Yes.
Man determines the value. The real value in everything is the human capital, because the human capital is the greatest natural resource on this planet. It's the greatest natural resource. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, to end, what I'm saying is, what if I said to you that from a commerce perspective and from a business perspective, we've been lied to with one quote, and I told you what the quote is. If I said to you that we have been lied to, and exactly what Rico is talking about is the what's the word I'm looking for? Is the manipulation. Is we've been lied to when we've been taught supply and demand. What if I said that that is the biggest lie and the biggest fallacy in any form of commerce? Because it's not supply and demand, right? And if you make widgets and they don't work, I don't care how many of you supply.
Yeah.
Who will buy?
Exactly. Point. Yeah.
So in reality, it should be in the reverse. Demand and supply. The demand comes from who? The people who want it.
Yeah, the people. Yeah, absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So that's that. I'm gonna land that plane right there, man.
Good deal.
The variable is determined. The variable is what in all reality determines the value of anything.
That's good. Toya with a T, talk to me. Cap, come to you next. Toya with a T. What is the absolute value? What absolute value does money have?
I wear a dress for $500,000. I don't know what y'all talking about.
Toya, you're a lady. You can wear a dress for free.
Oh, I be forgetting
You're a lady.
My bad. I be confused in 2023 because a lot of these old soft and squishy guys, honey, I be confused. Oh, I the girl. My bad.
I just want to clear that up a little bit. Hold on, just in case. I wanted to clear it up just a little bit, just a little bit.
Oh man. Okay, y'all. I'm sorry. I ain't got no sense. So some people will do any and everything for money, right? Certain things I'm not willing to do anymore. At one point, I didn't mind stripping for a couple of dollars. You know, it was a mindset. Oh, it's a tactic. Yeah, sex sells. That old goofy stuff. Oh, yeah, I can do that. I mean, a lot of things willing to do for money. Sell drugs. That's another one. To my people. Out of all the stuff we go through, out of all the oppression we've done through, I would sell. This was a past life. So want to sell drugs to my own people, despite everything we know we got to go through, just for money. Right? Some people, not me, sell people for money.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So again, when it comes to that value, it depends on what is your value, right? So I'm gonna just keep it simple. My business that I do is food. I do not work in a restaurant just for money. I'm not gonna just let food get sold and be bad. And certain things I don't care about your money. I am just not going to do. And some things I'm just not gonna do anymore. But again, that's each individual's choice. People choose what values that they want to have. We know that there are certain values. We know that there's certain values that we should not do. And I'm gonna use it being a woman. Certain women will date certain men just for money, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? They killing people for money nowadays. You understand what I'm saying? They cheating people nowadays. They going in, running businesses and laundering money from you nowadays because people just don't care. Everything is about the money. Nobody gives a damn about nobody or nothing no more. It's all about money and what we can do and how we can monopolize, and that's it. You know what I mean? So again, that's a culture that we choose. We overlook, we allow society to teach, and some of us are so far gone now because we've made this our value out of whatever driving force. Now here we are, 45 years old. We don't even know right from wrong when it comes to money no more. Now here we are driving trucks that sound like somebody in the back, boom, 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 and you turn your music up. Oh, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I got a house. You don't even stop to think, damn, there's people back there in that. Every time I drive this truck, it sounds like people in the back, but now I ain't gonna pay that no attention. You know what I mean? Every time we drive a car down the street, it looked like somebody getting human traffic, but I don't know. I'm gonna mind my business. You know what I'm saying? Again, a lot of this is our own values, and it's not about money. It's just about our mentality when it comes to what's right and what's wrong. And we use other things as a reward. Because if we're going to go through that, then I'd rather, you know what I mean? So, I mean, it's touch and go, and it's just us humans. We allow our values. We give up the authority of our power for money. And I think it contributes to the world we got today.
Exactly. Cap, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Brother Raheem. And good morning to my beautiful Morning Glow family.
Absolutely. Good to have you, sir. Asking a question, what absolute value does money have? What absolute value does money have, or do we give it its power?
You know, it's kind of, when questions are presented to me, it's very difficult for me to just answer it from the surface. I always try to look into the words that you use the word absolute. And you use the word money. And some people confuse the dollar with the word money. So many people that made some very wonderful comments, but there was an interchange between the dollar and money. And according to definition of Webster, money is a means of exchange. So anything you use as an exchange is money. So gold is money, silver is money, a cow could be money. Anything you use as a means of exchange. Now, value is based upon the demand. So if I wanted to look at the word at the show called Pawn Shop Wars, somebody brings something in, I look at it like, they trying to get how much for that? And then my man began to say, I'll pay you. He asked the question, what do you want for these cards? I want $3,000. Well, he goes and gets an expert to see is this worth $3,000 before he buy it, which makes sense. So as I heard Brother Curtis and Brother Rick, what do you consider value? The dollar bill, the American dollar bill in some country has no value. Period. If you travel like I've traveled, you could go over and the British sterling, the British has more value than the American dollar. So it all depends what means of exchange. I like what Badger said. The dollar bill used to be backed by gold. Then it was backed by silver. Now it's not backed by nothing. So in reality, it really has no, the dollar bill.
Yes.
So diamonds has value. So if you was to put dollar next to some diamonds, people in other countries, they do business in diamonds. The diamond has value. I'm sorry, I'm not taking the dollar. It can fall out any minute. But the diamonds is going to be a standard in mostly every country. Gold, it's a standard in every country. The dollar bill, I'm sorry. We don't take the dollar bill over here, partner. I'm sorry. But it all depends what you see as value. And I like what Curtis said, supply and demand. So Beyonce could get $24 million because there's value to somebody to go see her. I wouldn't pay no money to see that. That's just something I won't do.
Yeah.
But for her to get $24 million, there's a demand. Michael Jackson used to get that kind of paper. There's a demand. There's people that would pay for that.
Yeah.
Well, I know, sir. So when you say, do money have absolute value? Yes, to some people, but it depends what kind of money you're talking about. If you're talking about the dollar, no, sir. Because we're looking at the minimum wages now, $15, $16. That was cool, but man, you can't work for that kind of money no more because inflation means everything has went up. Yep. So they used to have what you call the dollar stores. Y'all remember the dollar stores?
Yeah.
There ain't no more dollar stores because they keep buying nothing that's worth a dollar. So everything has inflated. The dollar bill has no value. That's why you can go to the store today in which you can get a grocery. You can get 5-10 bags of groceries once upon a time for $50. Now you walk out with one bag. So does it have any value? Well, I could take a penny, Raheem, and say, you know, this penny right here, a penny is worth $600,000. You look at that out of here. But if I look at the penny and I show you it's a perfect penny that was made in 1943, 1930, or 1901, in your head, perfect, brand new, to a penny collector, he would pay $1 million for it, a penny.
Yeah.
So it's all based upon what does it mean to you, whether it's a dollar, gold, silver, or diamonds. You put the value to it, determine on what it means to you, like Brother Curtis and Brother Rico. It's up to you.
Good deal.
So does it have absolute value? The word absolute, it all depends what it is. Gold has absolute value. The dollar bill in America, no, sir. No, sir.
Good deal. There you go. Rico, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Yeah, I was glad he did that because I was going to end up going down myself. You know, labor can be money because you can repay somebody by labor. Doing something, I mean, bartering, you can consider that money because it's a system of trade. So, you know, I'm glad he sort of, you know, clarified it more and put it back to that Federal Reserve note or that system of currency where you have to do that trade. Yeah. See, what people fail to realize, or I ain't gonna say people fail to realize, but sometimes it might slip by people the reality of what comes with currency. If you put a currency value on something, that currency will run out.
Yeah.
Therefore, you will have to continue to create or earn more currency. And if they decide to inflate the value of that thing with currency, then that means you have to spend more time getting more currency. But if you're doing it based off labor, time and hours and just, you know, fair logic, you probably wouldn't have to work as much. So they can inflate the value of something with that currency really and truly when it doesn't need to be inflated. And that will still make you have to go out now and be more dependent on earning that currency to survive. I think that's such a good trick. When you could have easily just said, well, hey, you want to eat? Wash these dishes. You need some medical care? Well, come have your wife work in my home. We can work something out. You get what I'm saying? But now we can, with currency, you can put it so far out of range where people can't afford it. Because they can't get enough of that currency that you created, that man-made creation, that manipulation. So once again, they got us. They got us out here chasing that dollar, chasing that currency note that they could probably say it ain't worth nothing to tell everybody they need monopoly money to survive now.
Exactly.
And once again, it's evolving now to Bitcoin. We're putting value in something that we can't even put our hands on or can't even see. We're just trading numbers. Okay, well, this is what the bank says I'm worth, and this is what my bank says I have in my account, and this is how much Bitcoin I have in value, and I could trade and get this other manufactured good with this currency. So I ask people this question, you know what I'm saying? Because especially a Bible thumper, especially a God or a Jesus freak, because there's some very religious people out there that feel like they have to walk that path, and then Jesus and God comes first. I want to ask these people, how much God, righteous, or let me see what this other word I was thinking of, how much God value, righteous value, humane value, or natural value does a Federal Reserve note really have in it? How much value does a Federal Reserve note have in God? And then think about all the real things that we look at every day: life, people, animals, water. And ask yourself, okay, the Federal Reserve note may be valuable and important to us, but you're forgetting to take yourself out the picture. What's important and valuable to God, the Creator? And I'll tell you what's valuable. It ain't a dollar.
Wow.
I don't think God give 2 cents about your Federal Reserve note. He don't give 2 cents about the $24 million that they paid Beyonce to come over there and perform for an hour. But to us, we'll do something strange for that piece of change.
Exactly.
And say, you know what?
You gonna put on a dress.
It makes sense. Because we have heard throughout our lifetime that if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. And that's when you start compromising yourself for that manufactured good.
Exactly. Badger, what's on your heart, brother? Before you do that, 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Phone lines open. Give us a call. We'd love to have your input. Badger, what's on your heart? Mr. Hicks, coming to you next.
So, man, they beat me to it because I was going to bring up the gold and silver and all that. But Rico brought up a thing called Bitcoin. I don't know how many people actually know about it.
We all do.
It's data. That's what Bitcoin is data.
Yeah.
So if you think about it, it's data that's collected on the internet. Knowledge. Ones and zeros. That's being traded for value. So this is loose information that's out on the internet and stuff that people are buying and trading to one another. Files. $1 in Bitcoins is about 23,000. What was it? $23,400.
Okay.
Think about that. 1 Bitcoin. That's the value that people are putting into Bitcoin. So, and I liked what Cap was saying. You know, the mindset, the value that a person puts into something is how much it's worth. You can even go back to the bartering system. It's the same principle, just not to the level that money is.
Absolutely.
Or it can be. Like right now, if I had a yard full of chickens and I have eggs, how much are those eggs worth to people right now?
Or eggs done gone up, man. If you mess it, especially if you cut a few of them chicken wings off, well, you might get $1 million for them chicken wings. I ain't say wings. I say wings. There's a difference.
Well, you know, hold up, before you go too far, Badger, I was thinking, if we wasn't under that system of currency where people could just inflate it when they choose to inflate it, we probably wouldn't be in this situation with eggs, or wouldn't have been in the situation with chicken wings, because we probably could have bartered with other farmers.
Yeah.
You beat me to it again.
My bad.
You're taking the long way home, man. They're gonna beat you, man. You're taking the long way home, brother. You gotta put it out there.
All right, you get on to me sometimes because it takes me a little bit longer to get to a point. And the reason for that is things are connected to one another. Every single in the spider web of life, everything is connected. Our experiences, the value systems that we individually have, all interconnect to each individual, and each individual is connected to another individual. The value I put on money isn't going to be the same as yours or anyone else on this call. So to me, the value of sugar or eggs or tobacco or alcohol or whatever a person wants to put value on is going to change. There's some people that are like, tax tobacco out the door, charge as much as you can for those cigarettes. We got to make people quit. But why is a 6-pack of beer cheaper than a pack of cigarettes? You know, it's so.
I don't know how much either one of them costs. To be honest with you, man, it's been so long, man. I ain't never bought no cigarettes, but you know, I understand what you're saying, though.
Right, it's the point. Where is our value system compared to the life of a human being?
Good deal. Good deal.
And yeah,
finish your thought, brother. You finish your thought now.
I talk slow. I'm sorry.
Well, you know, we got 3 minutes. We got 3 minutes.
I know. I'm working on it. It's work in progress. But essentially, to me, it goes down to even gold. I have no interest in gold whatsoever. There's no value in gold for me, as it is other people. But silver, I'll pay the cost for silver the same price as gold, because to me, silver is more valuable than gold. To me.
And you said the perfect thing to you, because some people may feel totally different when it comes to gold. Some people may feel totally different when it comes to sugar, tobacco, alcohol, or whatever it is. It's individual. But hold on, got to keep it moving, Badger. Mr. Hicks, what's on your heart, sir?
Wow. Do you hear?
Yes.
Oh yeah. Hear me? Okay. I was always going through Bible classes, growing up in the different under the different ministries. I was always questioning that thing about it says that thing says money is the root of all evil. I know in recent translations and interpretation for the for the prosperity preaching that came along, I watched that. It became a thing that the love, somebody put in there, the love of money is the root of all evil. Match with that other scripture that man could not serve God and mammon. You must either hate one and love the other, or love one and hate the other. Always baffled me. You know, I was reading some time back about the Titanic. On the Titanic, they had 4 people on that boat that was instrumental in that island thing where they got conspired and took us off the gold and put us in the international banker's hand. So when I saw that money is the root of evil, before money as a trading thing, it was barter. It was barter. It was based off honor, based off shaking your hand, and your word being in the time when your word was everything. People lived it to keep their word. So the money that we have now is fiat. That means it's fake. It's fake money. And the systems around, the systems of creating this scarcity and lack in people's mind made it what people worship. You know, I was still reading this book about Rich Dad, Poor Dad. In order to and I don't understand, I'm studying the Bitcoin. It's fascinating to me. But in order for me to really begin that, I had to study the banking system. I had to go to the politics and the different things that happened, that acted in Congress. In fact, this meeting that took us off the gold standard was on Christmas Eve at 12 midnight when they had all the right people that had passed this bill. So when they took it off the gold standard, it allows the bankers to be able to inflate. So so when you talk about our deficit, the ceiling and deficit, that's because no president want this thing to fall down on their shift, but it's a house built on cards. It's going to fall. But Bitcoin lies a little space, but it's new technology, and a lot of people it takes a little different to try to understand it. But Bitcoin's cut the bankers out. Bitcoin is at war now with the elites to try to destroy it. A lot of the fraud things are coming up there behind us as disinformation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Good deal. Good deal. Finish your thought, brother. No.
Well,
finish your thought.
Well, it's a simple matter to me. You can't serve God and mammon, and Bartering, that's not money. Money is specifically a specific tool, a specific concept. Money is that paper. Money is written with that stuff in God, which is that's money. All the other stuff is something else. But money is this dollar bill that's fiat that everyone worship.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, exactly. Shanavia, good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. How y'all doing this morning? I'm good, by the way.
Yeah, doing good, doing good. Asking the question, what absolute value does money have?
What absolute value does money have?
Yes. Or do we give it its value in our love of it?
I don't think I'm awake enough to like answer that question. I don't know. I'm having like my brain is not computing that question at all.
Wow.
I don't know. Do we give it value? I mean, like, yeah, we do. I mean, we need it to live. We pay for water that we could get for free.
Let me step in 1 second. Now you say we need it to live, or have we been programmed to think that we need it to live?
I don't know, Mr. Rahim. Maybe a little bit of both. I really can't answer that question right now. I really don't know how to answer that question because I don't. It's like to some degree we may need it for stuff because that's not the system like from back in the day when you used to be able, like I think somebody was talking about it earlier, when you used to be able to trade and barter and all of that good stuff. There may not have been as much of a need for money, but somehow, somewhere along the way, it became the thing to have. But I mean, like, to live to a certain degree, I mean, we need it or we desire it. I don't know if it's a need more so than a desire. I don't know. I'm being honest.
I got you. Cassandra, what's on your heart, sis? Talk to me. Got another caller. We coming to you next, caller.
Yeah, you know, I don't know. We can, you know, try to intellectualize, I guess, you know, what money is and if it has value. But I'm going to go back to what I said originally. Go to the grocery store and try to get food out of it, or go to the gas station and try to get gas. And as far as I'm concerned, when you say money, that encompasses your credit card. Try to do that and see how that works for you. If you feel like money doesn't have any value or it's just in our head and it's just a fake thing, if it's fake, then go to the grocery store, go to Walmart later on today and tell them, you know, get your food and then go to the counter and tell them, I'd like to barter for this, or I'd like to, you know, something other than a credit card or money or Bitcoin or whatever we're using as our currency, and see how that works for you. Let's not. I mean, I know it's great being intellectual, and I love smart people. I really do. But the bottom line is there is value on money. Point blank. Period. You are not going to get the things that you need, your basic needs, without some type of credit cards or whatever else you use, whatever means you use, credit card, money, cash, or Bitcoin. It's not going to work.
Wasn't there a time where they used to have shops outside markets, if you almost like a farmer's market in today's time, where people used to go there and exchange different things and there was no money at all?
That's bartering. We're not talking about that.
Yeah, but I'm just no. What I'm asking you is, if wasn't there a time, because once they came up with this money exchange money thing with this paper currency, when they came up with that absolutely changed the game. But there was a time where that wasn't necessary. There was a time where there was no money.
Absolutely.
And so
try that now, Raheem. Though, with the amount of people on the planet, trying to make that bartering system work now,
but I think it would.
somebody gonna be losing out, and it's mainly gonna be poor people. So you know, even though
these are the same poor people. What we're talking about, these are the same poor people that don't have money today. So they're either way across the board. In some kind of way, you hate to look at it this way, but in some kind of way, if they don't have money, they can't go to the Walmarts or the supermarkets or whatever and buy anything because they don't have the money. So what is the difference in that system of us having a money system and not having a money system? If they don't have it, if they don't have the currency in some form, shape, or fashion, they still can't get the things that they need.
You see, I think when you say absolute value too, you actually, if you bringing in the logical and the moral and the God value, I think you bring it up. You know, that when you say absolute, you're meaning more than just this necessity that they created. See, I don't think she understands. We do realize the necessity. They have us in a dependent state where we do need money to survive, and that is out of order. Do you think your creator, your God, intended for some people to create a man-made system where people that don't earn enough of this paper that they can't survive or have health care? I mean, true, we all know that it's a necessity and we are dependent on it. And that don't sound right. That we are dependent on this system that they created.
Wow. And Toya just said something in the chat. People would exchange their money for God's, and some people will. Some people, you know,
that's what the problem is. I mean, hearing this, it sounds like people don't want to let go. We understand the necessity of it, and we understand how to. I mean, we try to get people to understand that that's how we've been mind screwed. Is the fact that it works because we made it work. You have a choice. Guess what? If Ryan came to me and said, Rico, I need you to do something for me, man. And I throw a price out there. And I said, well, you know what? Keep your money in your pocket. I know you can do this. You do that for me. And we just bartered and then contribute nothing to this imaginary value system that they created that has us in the bind.
And that's why I was saying too that I think the barter system, because you got to understand the barter system have to be on a local level. You ain't gonna be able to barter internationally. You're not gonna be able to do that. But on a local level, I think the bartering system in your city, in your town, in your community, I think it could work very well if we wanted to get away from this money system. Because if I'm a plumber and my neighbor's an electrician or something like that, and we both have issues, I could go to my neighbor. You look at, man, he's electric. Hey, my lights, man, something going on with my light. They're flicking. You know, I don't know how to do that. And he said, well, look at here, man, I come over there and fix that for you, man. But I got this my bathroom sink. You know, it's been draining, man, and it's leaking on my floor, man. It's going to destroy all the different things. How can we work this out? Well, you go to my house. I'll go to your house. When we're done, we'll come in the middle. We'll talk about it. It's all done. You don't owe me anything. I don't owe you anything. It's a wash. And so, yeah, there's so many different ways, man. I think there's so many, even people that don't have money in a barter system, they could go to that market and say, look at here, I don't have any money, but I see that your grass is growing up real, is high. I know how to cut grass. I could cut grass. I could cut this grass for you and give your place a better appearance. So when people come, they don't have to worry about all this high grass or stepping through this high grass when they get out of the car and things like that. I don't have money, but I can do that for you if you just give me a little something for me to feed my family.
Can I throw something in real quick, please?
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Rico brought up inflation earlier, right? I'm 36 years old, and I remember when I was a kid, I could be handed, I remember it going from like, I could take $1, get a can of soda and a Debbie cake, or about 2 Debbie cakes. Now, that dollar might get you a can of soda or a Debbie snack.
Wow.
So I understand the necessity of it. What I'm looking at is housing cost right now is absolutely through the roof. Why? They say it's the cost of materials, right? Here's the crazy part. If you have any interest in the stock market and you actually look at the cost of these things in the stock markets and stuff like that, or even oil prices over the last, 20 years, Oil prices ain't really gone up. They went up one time. I think it was like $100 and some a barrel,
Mm-hmm.
and then it dropped back down to average.
Mm-hmm.
But how much are they charging us for that gas?
Exactly.
Or that quart of oil? Why does it cost me $100 to do an oil change in my Volkswagen?
Mm-hmm. Wow.
When the cost on the market ain't really changed.
Mm-hmm.
But they tell us something different. They give us this impression that the price of everything's gone up. Lithium, gold, so on and so on. But what it really is those people that have the money in those pockets, they're the ones dictating the things that we want and need and the cost of them. That's what inflation is.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that the cost of something's actually gone up. They want to increase their pockets.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the sad reality of it right there. Let me go to Friday. Friday, good morning. How you doing this morning? Friday?
Good morning, how you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing this morning?
Doing all right.
We're talking about what is the absolute value of money, or have we given it more value than what it absolutely than what it should have? What do you say to that? What is the absolute value of money?
The absolute value of money is going to be what we make it be.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Because as it's been stated since I've been listening, a form of currency is required. I don't believe that it was not of thought or concern or knowledge of God, of baptism. Matter of fact, I think in scripture, when he gave the talents out and told the one that buried it that he would have been better off putting it in the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Which was not a nod to the bank, but he was saying if you're going to do something as horrible as bury it, at least you could have put it in the bank to get the poor interest rate, but it would have got some kind of interest, right? So it's what we make it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And in the shift of currency right now that's taking place from paper money to digital, to the transition that's happening now to make everything digital money,
Mm-hmm.
where it's not really tangible anymore. In my opinion, lessens the ability for the absoluteness of it, because now once it's out of sight, it's out of mind, and you make it be whatever you want it to be,
Mm-hmm.
which is even more dangerous when you go away from tangible things. Now you don't really know what the value is.
Yeah, exactly. So we've given it, basically what I'm hearing you say is we've given it is value. It doesn't have absolute value, but we place value in it because of the things that we can obtain with it.
Yes, that's correct.
Good deal. Let me go to Curtis. Curtis, what's on your heart, brother? Curtis, you there? Oh,
Yeah, I'm right here, brother. I just had to hit my mute button.
okay, cool beans. Talk to me. I know you got a lot of this here, brother.
You good, but I got tricked at it. So first thing I'm gonna say is, give to Caesar what is Caesar's, and give to God what is God's.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I mean, even Jesus traveled with a tax collector.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. That ain't no lie.
Mm-hmm.
The idea of value. Okay, let me break this thing down real quick. For everybody that's listening to this call, everybody that's on this panel, if you have a $2 bill in your house, you might want to go and look at that $2 bill.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the bill says $2. Depending on what year that bill was created, that bill is actually worth, at the bare minimum, $500, and at a maximum right now, $4,500.
Mm-hmm.
The $2 bill, if I'm not mistaken, is the only bill in American currency that has had 2 presidents on it. All right, so Matter of fact, I think the face of the $2 bill has been changed 3 times in total, right? So if you got anything from I think it's 1862 is when the $2 bill came into circulation. If you got anything from 1862 or 1866, somewhere between that time of the Emancipation Proclamation and all that, got the $2 bill that was created then, it's worth a certain amount of money. And then it was changed, I think, in 1976, right? That's worth another amount of money. Then there's a high dollar $2 bill that has a red, my God, I want to say a marker, but I don't want to say a marker. It has like a red ribbon in it, right? That bill is even more money. But if I just hand you that bill, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to look and say, it's a $2 bill. Why'd you give me $2, Kurt? Not even knowing that I just passed you a $4,500 note. Well, who determined that worth? That's first and foremost. Secondly, I hear people talk about digital currency all the time. Now, I got a little bit of Bitcoin. I got enough sense to get some. When I make some money, I get out, right? Bitcoin, in my opinion, digital currency is solely designed to be able to steal out of your pocket in a given minute.
Wow.
And you'll never know who took your money. You'll never know who took the money because everything about the digital currency is based off of an algorithm. If everything is based off of an algorithm, then just thinking what little bit I know about computer science, if everything is based off an algorithm, who's controlling the algorithm? And those who control the algorithm, who has the ability to put in a new statistical formula that changes the total equation and result of the algorithm? You know what I'm saying? So whenever you're dealing in digital, you gotta think. You have to think on a larger plane than just, oh, this is just the currency. I remember one time my grandma said this, and I'll land a plane right here. My grandma said, baby, you got to get yourself to a point to where you no longer work for money, your money work for you.
Yes.
So I understood that part, but then I later understood exactly what she was talking about. We have people right now that's like, I'm going to save my money, I'm going to save my money, I'm going to save my money, right? So they take their money, they get money, they take their money, they take it straight to the bank, correct?
Yes.
They take it straight to the bank and they put it in an account, right? And they never do nothing with the money. It just sits in the bank, right? Has that money worked for you?
No.
Or did it work for the bank?
It worked for the bank.
Because if you ain't doing anything with the money, then all you did was save money that, according to what we are talking about, don't have no value anyway. Or it might not have no value down the road.
Good deal.
So I think back to what my grandma told me. So when I put money in the bank now, I don't have a problem going to the bank and saying, hey, look, what kind of trust y'all got now? What's the new trust? What's the new 529? What's the new 401? What's the new 403? What's the new 402-A? Whatever. Because I need to know what is new now, because as long as my money's set in this bank, y'all on it and y'all making tenfold off of my $1. Every $1 you put in the bank, a bank makes anywhere from $10 to $100 off that $1.
Wow. Wow.
So, I mean, when you talk about value, man, it's a double. There's a double meaning when you talk about the value of money.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's keep this thing going. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Let's call in. Never give us a call. We love to have your input. We're talking about what is the absolute value. What is the absolute value of money? Cap, what's on your heart?
Well, I mean, to my sister Cassandra, I didn't want her. I don't know if anything any of us said that gives the impression that we don't think that we can go to the store and get anything without money. Money does have value. But your word was, look at the word absolute.
Yes.
Absolute. Now, I'm sorry. I have to deal with real definitions. I can't, when you use the word absolute, that changes the whole question. Now, does the dollar have value? Yes. But listen, the dollar bill does not have the same value of a $5 bill. The $5 bill does not have the same value of a $20 bill and a 50 and 100. Okay. If I was leaving my house and I didn't have $1, I lost $1, I'm not going to be late for work looking for $1.
Yeah.
But if I went and I lost 10, I'm looking, again, I'm not going to be late for work trying to find that $10 bill. Now, if it's a 20, I'm going to start asking some people around the house, whoa, there was a $20 bill on this table.
Yeah.
And if it's a 50, I'm putting everybody up against the wall. We strip searching. All right? See, if it's 100, the gun coming out, everybody laid down, somebody to rob me. But here's my point. It's with it has value.
Yeah.
But what does it? What value? You when I talked about the pawn shop, everybody had went to, well, I don't know everybody. I went to the pawn shop a couple of times with some diamond rings when I was broke, and then the 10th commandment. But when I go to tell the man what I believe is worth, he gonna tell me what he gonna give me. He's like, oh no, partner, you're not gonna just rob me. Oh, okay. So everything, money could be diamonds. We talked about gold could be diamonds. Today you go to the store, the dollar has no weight when it comes to when you purchase something. There's no more dollar stores. So, you go to get some gas, $5 a gallon. We can say, I remember when it was $2. But the point is, what value do anything have to you? You can sit there and say, I'm selling my house. Well, how much you selling the house for? I want to get $400,000 out of it. Well, you go get an appraiser. Appraiser said, really, it's only worth $200,000. Either you can sell it or you can keep it. But you may have value because it was my mother's house. It was where my grandmother was born. Cool. So when you said absolute, Raheem, everything has value. But what does the value mean? And I heard the sister talk about prostitutes. Well, a man may see value in sex. I wouldn't pay for it, but to somebody ain't getting it all the time, it may mean a lot to him. You know what I'm saying? But the bottom line is, you use the word absolute.
Yes.
I do believe everything really do have value. But what value does it have to you? And then you go to countries where they want the dollar. You can take $50 in certain parts of Africa, and you can feed a whole village with $50.
Yeah.
American dollars. So it all depends what value it has to you.
Exactly.
What you make valuable. That's what I have to say.
Absolutely. Toya, you want to see you with us? Toya?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay. What's on your heart, sis?
Yeah, no, Cap is right. It's the value that I think that we humans, again, we always forget the value or the power that we have. And I was saying in the chat that, it's not about just bartering. It's about the extravagance that causes our values to change. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that people are selling other humans just for a regular place to live, right? We don't want to live in no hut made out of straws and leaves no more. And it's extravagant land we call America. We want penthouses. We want Benzes, Range Rovers. We want to walk around in name brand clothes. So therefore we do things, whether it's sell humans, go to work acting like we sell humans, sell drugs, or whatever your thing is. You take yourself away from your family to go get this money that we all decide to give power to. Because just think about the resistance before technology came. You understand what I'm saying? There was a world before cell phones.
Yes.
And some of these people, they won't be able to fathom what it was like without a cell phone, without smart this and smart that. But the fact of the matter is, we navigated before that. And in that time frame, everything was cheap. Gas was 99 cents.
Yep.
Some people cannot fathom the life that we lived in 1990 because of the implementation of the world we have now. These things, this is why we say programming, and some of us are so programmed in the matrix, we don't even understand it's a program. Because there was a life before money. There was a life that we lived before a human decided to enslave people and say, hey, this is what we're going to do from now on. We don't want to live in tiki huts and work the land and just be with our families anymore. That's not enough of a job. That's not enough money. We need cars. We need clothes. We need big, nice houses that we can be happy with, and big this and big that and nice this and nice that. We don't want to live like some of the people live naturally off the earth, and some of our so-called underdeveloped, that's what they call them, right? Underdeveloped countries that live off the basics.
Exactly.
That don't require all of this because they don't see the value for real. They're not just in the mix of America acting like they don't. They really don't value this in small tribal groups and lands that are not here. Well, Rico talk about it all the time. The Amish and their value system. They keep it as minimum as possible with, you know what I'm saying, falling into the wants of the world that causes you to have to work 3 jobs, causes you to want and acquire these things by doing whatever it so-called takes to provide for your family, that want these needs, that if something happened to them, you can't bring their life back. You can't bring their health back. You understand what I'm saying? So again, it's like what we choose to put value in. And when we get caught up in this world, thinking that money rules something, thinking that we rule something, things happen where God quickly reminds us that He the ruler. And none of this, Rico said it earlier, none of this really matter. Money don't really matter because a human has to make that. When everything stops, if everything was to ever stop, how a human gonna make money, and then what? Then we're gonna run around here and operate in mass communication because we don't understand that we can live without money. So this is a really tricky subject. People can get really, you know what I'm saying, angry behind this because, again, the thought of everything shutting down and you're not getting access to your money anymore, the money that you saved up, the Bitcoin you saved up, and us to walk around here, people are going to kill people when it's even not that serious. We would really all be okay without everything we got going on and comfortable too. So this is a tricky situation, and I hope we don't never see that day.
What? You say you took my money? What? What you mean? I ain't got no money in my account. What you, man, look here.
Chaos, man.
yeah. It's
gonna be chaos around here. Can you imagine that over some paper that some humans, and if we think about the legacy on just the slavery in America and how that transpired, that's really what that boiled down to. Like we're so attached that some of us are okay with taking a life for X amount of dollars in money, but then we feel like we don't understand how America, how they did slavery, what they did. But you'll shoot somebody and kill them dead too about that cash. So stop playing.
Okay, preacher, we gotta keep it moving, preacher. I barely ever get a chance to say that to Toya, so when I get an opportunity to say it, I'm gonna jump right over that. Preacher, all right, now preacher, pass the mic, preacher. Let me see. I can't tell who's actually on there. Okay, Badger, what's on your heart? Everybody else, I need a roll call of who's still here on the video side, because everybody pretty much have their cameras off right now, so I don't know who to call on and who not to call on. So if you can, turn your cameras back on so I know you're there. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
You know, sitting here thinking about everything that's being said and stuff, once again, it boils down to the people that have the most. Look at the system, look at the things that we're purchasing, be it certain kinds of food, be it homes, be it gas or whatever, and they dictate, I wonder how much I can raise it where they're still going to buy it. When you work retail and you start, especially as you go up the ranks and stuff, you start seeing how much they mark things up, like what it costs the store versus how much they mark things up. Could you imagine, like, when I was like, I understood capitalism based on what the school taught me when I was in school. But after leaving high school and all that stuff and getting into retail, it was a shock how crazy it was. A kitchen knife that you buy for $5 costs 5 cents to make.
Yeah.
And then you add in like $1 of labor depending on where it comes from. So something that cost them $1.05, they're making enough to make 4 more.
Oh yeah.
So, then you start getting into TVs and refrigerators and all this other stuff, and they don't make things to last either. And now that there's a huge controversy over the technology, we buy a cell phone, and in 3 years, maybe 3 to 5 years, we end up having to replace it because the batteries don't last no more. We could have like 7, 8 apps on our phone running just smooth. Even if we replace the batteries don't last long because what do? They put a program in there to purposely run your battery down. Just like in the video age and the gaming stuff. Over time, you have to replace your computer because the games that come out are too strong, quotation, for what you currently have. Everything in our society is centered around this ideology that how much are you willing to spend for something you need and want, need or want. Like a computer's not a need, but it's getting to that point. Because even to apply for benefits in some places, they go, let's go, paperless. Everyone's trying to get away from paper. So they're trying to require everyone to have their phones and their apps and their PCs and things like that need to be changed every 5 years.
Yes, absolutely.
So essentially, we have a housing market that's jacked up. We have technology that don't last. Unless you get a amazingly built refrigerator or stove, those have limitations of how long they last. Water heaters, AC units, and everything else. They went from making things that last, and because they couldn't maintain that $1 billion, they purposely built things not to last to keep us paying for things. So where are we as a society, or could we as a society get to a point where we go, we've had enough?
Wow, that's good. That's good. Let me go to Tucson. And what we're talking about today, we're talking about what absolute value does money have? Give us a call, 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We love to have your input. We're talking about what is the absolute value of money, or did we, been loving money like we do sometimes, did we give money all of its value? Tucson, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
You know what? Listen, keep listening. And all you said something. This can take somebody off. I'm that one person that'll get ticked off about this type of conversation.
Okay.
Because it seems like we feel like the they that we're talking about that manipulate the system, it would be better off. We would be better off if we were the they that dictate value of anything. then we would be satisfied. I was trying to figure out how can I be a part of this conversation without getting madder and madder and madder and madder.
Mm-hmm.
Because okay, first 8 hours that I work, I get paid a certain amount.
Mm-hmm.
After 8 hours doing the same thing, I'll get that time and half of that time. I didn't establish that. If it was up to me, maybe perhaps what I would say is, why don't you just give me time and a half? Well, let me just go back again, because I'd have to rethink that again, because if I come on Sunday, which is like you know, I'm one of them, you know, I'm going to church type person, you know. Okay, all right. If I go say I'm not going to go to church, then I'm going to get double that time.
So
for doing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So if it was up to me, just let me make this decision and just say, if I might have to come in here to do the job, or whatever you want me to do, because I see people doing the same thing, making the same money I'm making, and they walk around every day doing absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And you get paid what I get paid for doing nothing.
Just being there.
Clock,
just being there.
And walk around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so that's not my problem, because I didn't create the system. So maybe would it be better for me to create the system and be satisfied and say, okay, in 1972, you can get a Riviera for Buick Riviera for $2,500.
Yeah.
Cash, paid out, finished, done. Okay? Let me see. You're going to say, shut up, preacher. Okay, okay, preacher. But what I'm saying is, these cars that we ride around today, you go back in I don't know when the first car, the Model T was, it went about 25 miles an hour. I don't know. I was in the jet back then. You get a Ford these days, and you can run that stuff almost 200 miles an hour.
Yeah.
In a little no time. So I'm saying, and I'm gonna shut up. Maybe what we're saying is, we would feel better if we made the decision on what was valuable in the first place.
Wow.
So that would say, let's make us God.
Wow. Okay. Good deal. I guess, brother. Let me go to who am I gonna go to? Rico, what's on your heart, brother?
Oh, I think Donald was speaking from the mindset of those capitalists and those corporate owners and stuff. But let Ryan go. It's been a second since Ryan spoke.
Okay. Well, yeah, both of y'all just came back on.
Yeah, but I spoke since Ryan spoke, though. It's been a while since he.
Go ahead, Ryan. Let me hear what's on your heart, brother.
So it's way out Wednesday, so I'm gonna go way out.
Oh Lord. Put your seatbelt on, everybody. Here we go. Let's do it.
So you got to look at things through a different lens too. Sometimes when it comes to money, a lot of people talking about cost of living and minimum wage and things like that. A lot of people miss the buck, if you will, when it comes to minimum wage talk. You talk about increasing minimum wage, and mind you, I understand people need a specific wage or something close to it to live, but you gotta think outside the box. Where does that money come from? Yeah, we print money willy-nilly and do this and do that, but you talk about minimum wage. When you increase the minimum wage, you increase the cost of goods. That money don't come free. So you want to jack up the minimum wage, but you're still paying the same on the cost of goods that's going up with that increase in pay. So you jack it up to $15 an hour, $20 an hour. Well, that's going to cost. We're going to increase the cost of goods. So essentially, it's a wash. You're not really making any more money.
It just balances. Yeah.
Right. And then you got guys like Bill Gates coming over here, buying up all this farmland. What's he growing? Nothing. Buying up all this farmland to grow absolutely nothing. So we talk about, I think Rico's talking about chicken shortage, right? You got a chicken shortage. Ain't no shortage of chickens. Ain't no shortage of chickens. It's a shortage of farms that have the ability to sell those eggs and sell that chicken. It's done by design. It's all a design. We made to think that we have a shortage of chickens. We're made to think that there's a lettuce shortage. You go outside and grow lettuce right now. Ain't no lettuce shortage. It don't take long to grow, right? But then you got all these trade embargoes. I think it was Badger brought up lithium. The majority source of lithium in the world is in Afghanistan. Who controls Afghanistan? Not us anymore, China. So we got to pay China for that lithium. Who controls fertilizer in the world? 90% of fertilizer comes from Russia. Guess what? We ain't doing no trade with Russia right now. So that's where your shortage lies, is trade embargoes. So all this stuff out there that's outside the box that people don't really think about, that stuff's valuable to us. But it's also not a necessity. We don't have to trade with Russia for fertilizer if you know how to make your own. You grow your own plants. You got a house, and most people can't grow in their backyard or in their garden the way they want to because the soil is bad and they don't know how to fix it. You can fix the soil. You can tailor your soil to grow whatever you want to. I worked for a woman for 5 years and learned how to do all of that. The compost you buy at the store, or the compost tea you buy at the store, that's garbage. You can make your own in 5 days and grow the best food of your life in 5 days.
Wow.
So it's all about, like most people have been saying, what you put that value into. You want to take your money and put it where your mouth is, literally. Go out there, buy some books, learn how to do this stuff yourself, and show them we don't need that. We don't need that fake, non-tangible Bitcoin. It's just like Badger said, it's all data. They buying and selling data, and you buying right into it, buying them Bitcoins. They're buying your data, your privacy. So you got to think outside the box and take control of your life. And then, like you were saying, and I was saying earlier, on that local level, engage in that bartering system. You know, we take IOUs from the government all the time when it comes to tax returns, but will you take an IOU from your brother or your neighbor? Yo, you can fix this electric problem for me right now. You don't really have nothing going on, but I owe you one. I'll go fix your plumbing later. And if you trust that person and you engage in that local commerce, you remove the need for all this other nonsense.
Exactly. Good deal. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Oh, here we go.
Oh, no. I mean, it all sounds really good. I love the idea that, but most people are not going to do that. And, the minimum wage increase, we definitely need the minimum wage increase. I don't know where some people, I don't know where y'all live. It's different from different places. But where I live, in Atlanta, you have people working 12 hours on a job, making, bringing home $300 maybe a week. The average apartment, 1-bedroom apartment in Atlanta is running $1,600 to $1,800. So if you're making $300, I'm talking about women with children, and you work in your little part-time job. So you're making what, 1,200 on the $300 job, and you may bring in another $200-300 on your part-time job. How does that add up to $1,800? I'm just saying it just sounds really. I love it when people, have these ideas that, this is not necessary, that is not necessary. Maybe in your world, but in the world that I live in, the people that I deal with in my communities, it is a total reality that we need to have a minimum wage increase. Not for everybody, because some people making good money, but where I live, we definitely need to see that happen. And I'm gonna throw this out because this is Way Out Wednesday. I was working on a set last week. I'm just saying, and this is a biblical principle. Some of you gonna know this, some of you may not. The biblical principle is this. Last week I worked on a set, and when I went in, we did the scene that we needed to do, and there were other people that came in the same time I did, that checked in, actors. And when I left at 3:00, they worked until 8:00 that night, 5 hours more than me. And guess what? They made the same money.
Wow.
They made the same money that I did. And that's the biblical principle. As some of you may know, some people were given a certain amount, but they worked certain hours, but everybody paid the same amount of money. It's just, some things are just a part of our life, our society, the way things are done. And unfortunately, it may not seem fair, because to me, for some people to be making $25-30 an hour, and then you have other people making $7-8 an hour for jobs that are pretty much close to the same, it does not seem fair to me. But maybe people feel like that's fair. I don't know. But I don't know. We in a jacked up society. I don't care how you look at it. You can try to rationalize how you can make it work. We're not going back to everybody bartering. I doubt that, unless there's an apocalypse. And I personally, for the next Armageddon or apocalypse, I believe that as a Christian, I won't be here to go through that. That's just my belief.
Wow.
But I'm just saying.
Exactly. Let me go to.
You ain't going nowhere. You ain't going nowhere. That's my thing.
Shanavia, what's on your heart, sis?
To be honest with you, Mr. Raheem,
come on now.
This conversation.
Come on now.
This conversation is not my ministry. So therefore, I am just going to be a student and listen to what everyone has said and what they will say until something else comes along in my wheelhouse.
Well, we got a little more than 30 minutes to go before this broadcast is over, and I want to touch one more thing before we get on here. So before we move on, though, does anybody have anything else they want to say on this particular topic?
I do.
Match, why I knew you was gonna say that. Go ahead, Match.
So this whole minimum wage thing, I'm sorry that this is, I get kind of temperamental on this one. Looking at the history of minimum wage versus cost of living, right? So let's say you're making $15 an hour. We're just using like just a calculator. You're working just a 40-hour job. So that's roughly $600 a week, $15 an hour for 40 hours a week. Let's say just to average it out, right? The average cost of groceries for a balanced diet throughout America is about $223. So that's about half. That's not rent, that's not power, that's not water, that's not gas or whatever else you need. That's just groceries for a balanced diet for a family of 4. So if you take that and then you start adding in the cost of rent. So 6 times 4 is 2,400. We haven't even took taxes out. The average rent for an apartment near me is about $1,200. for like a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So out of, let's say you're actually probably going to be closer to about 2,000 after taxes and everything each month. You're paying, now you have 800 left over for a balanced diet per month based on American standards of what a balanced diet is. It's 963 for food.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So even if they increase minimum wage, if they continue to increase inflation, the cost of groceries, the cost to rent a place and everything else, that minimum wage does nothing.
Mm-hmm.
It's an illusion. It's the only way to fix it is you increase minimum wage and not a single company inflates the system. That's how we get caught back up.
Mm-hmm.
But as long as they increase minimum wage and then they do inflation, it ain't going to fix anything.
Okay.
We're going to be fighting for an increase on minimum wage for the rest of our lives until we realize it's inflation that is causing the problem, not minimum wage.
Good deal. Good. Anybody else have anything you want to
I'll
say?
take minimum wage. I'll still take the minimum wage increase.
Okay.
I still want to see that for people.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Anybody else?
What about cost of living?
Yeah, we can deal with that, but I'm saying increase the minimum wage. People find a way to make it if they can get their hand on money. I know. Okay, I'm gonna leave that alone because we're moving on to another subject, and I'm gonna get mad.
Okay. And we're gonna revisit this one again, but I want to go here before we get out of here today. I want to ask this question right here, Jennifer. Okay, we just lost two songs. Let me go to Shanavia because she said she wanted to when we get to another topic, she want to talk on something that she's more familiar with. So Shanavia, let me ask you this question, and I want you to finish this for me. And this is Way Out Wednesday, so take it way out. It's
you didn't come back to me. I was good.
no, it's a different topic. So here we go. It's a shame. It's a shame when. Finish that.
It's a shame.
Way Out Wednesday. Remember, this is Way Out Wednesday. Now, take away on out. It's a shame when what, Shanavia?
Okay, I got one. On anything?
Yeah, anything.
It's a shame when we are in 2023 and our state capital in Mississippi has just reversed 62 years of segregation by passing a law, passing a House bill to have two separate parties at the Capitol, a black and a white. It's a shame when we're in 2023, and that has just completely been reversed.
Wow. Anybody want to speak on that before we go to somebody else? Everybody's real quiet. Let's go to Ryan. Ryan, it's a shame, man. It's a shame when and anything is Way Out Wednesday. Take it where you want to go. It's a shame when.
It's a shame when it's 2023 and people still toss a label on another country and call them evil instead of trying to work things out.
Anybody? Okay. Cap, it's a shame when.
Racism in 2023 and black men and young black men are still being shot down by law enforcement because of their color of racism. It's a shame.
Anybody? And when I say anybody, I mean anybody want to comment on anything that is a shame because we can actually comment on them as well. Anybody? Okay.
I mean, it's hard to comment when you just, those are facts and you agree and their opinions. I mean, that's just everything everybody's saying. Those are, that is true. It is a shame.
Spot on.
I mean, unless you just want to hear the choir sing.
Woo! Oh, Leonard, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem and the Morning Glow family.
Good deal. Leonard, it's a shame. It's a shame when. Finish that for me.
Oh, it's a shame when whores think they deserve respect.
Oh, man, Doc didn't say that.
Good morning, Cap.
$40.
You know, because it occurred to me the other day. I was just thinking of something, and you know, I've
I'm
thought
trying to
about.
figure, and I was gonna ask you, how did that come up? Go ahead,
Well,
bro.
you know, there was this movement called slut shaming. Remember
Mm.
that? Led by that one young lady. I can't remember her name.
She was slut walking. Amber Rose.
Yeah,
She was doing a
whatever.
slut walk.
Slut shame. You know, a slut ought to be ashamed.
Mm. Okay.
I mean, if you think different, I would love to hear.
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
I was
We
just
gonna move on while you move on your way over there in that corner over there. But Rico, it's a shame when
It's a shame in today's time that, you know, we still are trading ourselves for, you know, to survive and for the ability for the cost of living.
Mhm.
That we're paying somebody a cost to survive. I think in the past, you know, we talk about people being holistic and living like the ancestors and how they lived longer and they were healthier. But then it seemed like we forget it because we are so, man, we've been so conditioned to this way of life and this system that we live in. Like right now, I don't even really think that most people understand that this reality we lived in has been so manipulated.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we are living in existence now where keyword man has manipulated, you know what I'm saying, our way of life and our way of thinking, our way of surviving. And so now we have to pay a cost. I mean, just in those three words, cost of living. Can you imagine having to pay a cost to live on a planet that God created and gave you everything that you needed to survive? You know what? It's a shame. It's a shame that the life that God gave me as a man to be able to create a child, it's a shame that I can't pay the cost to be the father that I'm supposed to be. It's a shame that a system exists that denies me the right to do what a father has done throughout history. Now I can't do it if the court don't say so. And if the attorney fee, and if I can't match it with the attorney fees, which have inflated, it's a shame that we live in an existence where we have to pay a cost to just do what God has intended and given us the natural right to do.
Absolutely. Badger, it's a shame when
people ignore the facts.
Okay, plain and simple. Cassandra, it's a shame when
people misconstrue the facts.
Okay. Cap, it's a shame when
Man, I would just say, I was like how Badger's sister was throwing down. Make me like I got to say something. It's a shame when the facts misconstrued. No, I don't know. It's a shame that we're still, as a people, killing each other at an alarming rate at a time where men and women paid such great sacrifice to get us to a certain quality and level of life that we seem to recklessly throw away.
Wow. Leonard, it's a shame when
I like what it's a shame when a lie holds as much weight as the truth almost. That's a shame.
Yeah.
Even in courts, even amongst ourselves, when you bring a lie to the table and it's holding just as much weight as the truth. Look at these people who believe in Donald Trump and all this. Lies that the truth is well within your reach, but you choose the lie instead. That's a shame.
Wow. Rico, it's a shame when.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go back to Ryan. You done skipped over Ryan again.
No, go ahead. I'm coming around. It's a shame when.
Oh man, I had one on the tip of my tongue, man. I guess it's man, it's so much shame, man. It's a shame when you can't send your children to school without worrying about them getting shot up.
Wow. Ryan, talk to me, brother. It's a shame when.
It's a shame when people still can't just be happy for other people and what they have instead of wanting to take it from them. It's a shame when the host skip over you and go to your brother and your brother call the host out too.
That's a shame, man. Like your brother trying to run the doggone show. Ain't that a shame? Ain't that a shame? Man, look here. Let me see. Navy. No. Yeah, Navy. It's a shame when. Well, y'all something else. Navy.
What? Wait, why you didn't want to come to me? Why the no? I feel like Ryan now.
No. See, look here. It's a love thing. Ain't that?
Rahina Uno host. He just go in reverse. He got threw the reverse card down. He going back.
Draw four, brother. I'm a Uno king now. But Navy
skip in there every now and then. Skip you.
Exactly. The red skip one too. Navy, it's a shame when.
It's a shame when it's Social Work Appreciation Month, and y'all didn't even know that. That's not a serious one, but it kind of gives me.
Well, you know what? Happy what is now Social Worker Appreciation Month? Happy Social Worker Appreciation Month to you, Cassandra, Curtis, and I think that's all the social worker we got on here. I think that's all. If I've forgotten about it, charge it to my mind, certainly not my heart. So happy day to you. Happy day to you, Cassandra. It's a shame when
y'all trying to make me cuss and it's just Wednesday.
look here. Actually, with your record, you might be past due. Normally you don't got 2 or 3 of them by now already.
In this win, this is the day forward.
Exactly.
I know. I don't want to, Rico. I'm trying.
You ain't trying too hard. It's coming out in a minute. I promise you. Badger, it's a shame when
the stigmas of society outrule our mindset of how to treat others.
Mm-hmm. That's good. Anybody else got anything else before we move on to something else?
Oh yeah, man. I got one, man.
Mm-hmm.
It is a shame when society finds it acceptable and endorses people pimping themselves out for money, like selling your virginity or going on OnlyFans.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Anybody else? Open door. Anybody else?
It's a shame when wicked white racist and Confederate sympathizers are allowed to hold public office in these United States of America.
Wow. This must be way out Wednesday, boy. I tell you, I don't know if this is what's that thing I was gonna say? Feet to the fire. I don't know if this Feet to the Fire Friday, but it's definitely way out Wednesday. Anybody else have anything else?
It's a shame in 2023 where you got to change the laws for the majority to fit the extreme way out there alternative lifestyle.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else?
It's a shame that people can't access the basic necessities to live.
Okay, go ahead, Cap. We can hear you, Cap. Go ahead.
I said it's a shame in 2023 that young black men still wearing their pants, sagging in their pants. That's a shame.
Mm-hmm. We got about less than 20 minutes before we get out of here. A little more than 20 minutes, actually. And I want to ask y'all this question. Have time changed so much? We're going to come to you right now. Have time changed so much? I remember when I was growing up, during the time when I was growing up, man. And we're going to talk about Christmas. Christmas time came. Man, I don't care how cold it was, snow on the ground, whatever it was, man. Everybody was outside playing, showing off the toys, riding the bikes and skateboards or whatever they had, man. Everybody was outside. Man, you go around in 2022, 2023, I'm sure it's gonna be the same way. The last few years, you go around on Christmas Day, man, it's like a ghost town, man. The kids are not outside playing no more, man. What is it gonna take for us to get them kids outside of the house and enjoying the sunshine, that vitamin D, like they used to?
Physical activity. I mean, just practical stuff, man. I mean, people, everything is so hooked, so built around technology and electronics and stuff like that now. I mean, really, people don't. Only reason people go outside is to talk on the phone, so people won't hear what they have to talk about.
Yeah. That's
Other
crazy.
than that, or to get a better reception.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, we are. I mean, this ain't nothing new, man. I mean, we talking about 2022. We go back to 1992, man. We've been having a problem with parents and children being obese. I mean, look, it's a shame we got TV shows talking about teen moms and 600-pound lives. I mean, man, I remember, I don't know if it was as common now as it was in the past, but it was rare seeing people 600 and 700 pounds. And now they on TV once again, exploiting themselves, glorifying it, looking gross. I mean, you ever see one of them shows?
Yeah.
Man, they actually look like sometimes they enjoy being that huge and lazy. It's like they soup it up and exaggerate it a little bit for ratings. It's a shame that people will exploit themselves to go viral and be famous.
Hey, Rico.
I mean, man.
You ever seen that guy? He got a Twitch stream, and he sit there and buy hundreds of dollars worth of garbage and shove it in his face on the Twitch stream, and this dude making millions, killing himself.
Wow.
Self-deprecating.
Wow.
I mean, so yeah, I mean, going back to what you were saying about going outside at Christmas time, man. I mean, that's what it is, man. This is the electronic technological world that is hooked on convenience. That's one of the biggest cons, is being convenient, because now we have been conditioned to want more convenience and manipulated. I mean, all this is man-made manipulation and cons that has gotten people to give up control. Another con. To give up this control of logical living and survival. I mean, obesity, people dying young, it's so many things that we are doing to contribute to our own demise, and we don't even realize it because we love it. And so now you don't see children outside playing at Christmas. You don't see them. You see little league baseball teams. You see 4 teams instead of 12 like you used to in the past. In the past, you see children playing I can't remember the last time I seen a baseball league full of black children. You don't even see the parks in our communities anymore. They ain't even playing stickball in the street. The basketball courts are empty. Because they're in them tablets. They in those cell phones. I mean, it's to the point now where 7-year-old children want $500 pairs of Balenciagas.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, I mean, this convenience, man, and this desire for manufactured goods and being addicted to technology and convenience and pleasure, man, all this has worked against us and has us to the point where, you're not going to see people behaving like humans should.
Wow. Cassandra, what do you say to that, man? Christmas time back in the day when it was coming up, everybody was outside. You knew people was gonna be outside on Christmas Day. That's what it's gonna be. Hot, cold, snow, whatever, they're gonna be outside. Cassandra, last few years, it has been totally different. So what is it gonna take us, Cassandra, to get the kids outside on Christmas Day and enjoying the sunshine like we used to do?
I don't even know if they're gonna go back to that. I don't even know what it would take. Because like Rico said, it's so much technology, they don't want to do anything that got anything to do with outside. The computer, the phone is what it's all about. The laptop, anything like that, that's what they into. So I don't even know. Is it possible? Somebody can, I'm curious. Tell me what you think it's gonna take. Because parents aren't taking back, aren't going to take the electronics away.
Yeah.
And that's about the only thing that's going to get them outside, to take the electronics away.
But Cassandra, have them electronics become a babysitter?
Man, yeah. I mean, I know. Yeah. Let's put it like that. Yeah. They have. they have for many parents. Between the television, the cell phone, and the laptop, yeah, they've definitely become the babysitters.
Wow. Wow. Joseph, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, y'all, and good morning, Family Glow. I mean, Glow from Family. Look, good morning, Morning Glow family.
Well, you know, renamed us about 10 times.
Gotta get my brain lined up with my mouth.
Look, you know, renamed us about 10 times this morning, brother. Okay.
We got renamed.
Asking the question.
It's good to hear everybody.
Hey, likewise, brother. Asking the question, man.
How we gonna get them back outside?
Yes.
How we gonna get the children back outside?
Yes.
And I do agree, man. These cell phones are taking over, these iPads, and I see it all the time. I watch families, or mothers with little children, little babies, and they get that phone, boy, get a hold of mama's phone. They figure that must be very important because mama have it all the time and she's on it. And they see daddy with it and he's on it, so they assume that this must be the thing to do.
Yeah.
So we kind of instill habits in them before they're old enough to decide for themselves. And I guess we as adults have to be cognizant of that. We're passing on or transferring behaviors that may not necessarily be healthy. But I like going outdoors, and over here in Clayton County, man, at the park, man, I see families on Sunday evenings, man, sometimes Saturday mornings outdoors, over there by the lake at the International Park. And it's a beautiful thing, man. It's a beautiful thing. I don't see people necessarily all on their phones. They're more or less pushing the kids on the swings and, walking the dog and different things like that. So, that's a beautiful thing. The parks, man, they should be inundated with people, on good days, especially on warm days. Yeah, we're going to have a big concert April 22nd outdoors out there by the lake at the International Park. We do it every year. Then we're planning the Juneteenth celebration, which is going to be probably at the amphitheater in Jonesboro. We're going to be putting together something for all ages. We want plays and skits for the young people, and we're going to touch on the history of the Black church, touch on the history of the Black struggle, the Harriet Tubman, the skits with Frederick Douglass and Malcolm X and Martin. We want to do it big this year. And I think we're missing opportunities around the country. I think all these different counties and cities should have robust Juneteenth celebrations. I think it should be thought out carefully. I think we should give such meaning to it that every year we look forward to it, almost like the way some of our Jewish sisters and brothers conduct their holidays. And, St. Patrick's Day is going to be big.
Hey, Joseph.
Juneteenth should be big. Yeah.
Joseph. We started off talking about getting kids outside, man. You don't want all the way around the world. And
get them outside.
Now you talk about.
Look, that'll get them outside. And you don't want to be inside celebrating Juneteenth.
And see, my thing is this right here too. And I'm gonna send you a bill for all them commercials you just ran on here, man. I'm gonna send you a bill for all them commercials. I'm gonna send you a bill. You real slick, man. You real slick with it. But I'm gonna send you. You getting the bill, man. I'm sending you a cash app soon as I can finish here. All them commercials you just ran,
bro. You're wrong.
Look, all them commercials you just
commercial in though, didn't I?
Yeah, you done got about 10 commercials in, man. I said, man,
I got that commercial in though, boy.
Yeah, you did. I'm gonna send you a bill.
Right. He didn't say friends and friend, but this is business.
Exactly. Hey, Cap, you see how he slick? You see how he slicked that thing? I'm sitting there listening. I'm like, man, this dude doing a whole full-fledged production. Cap, did you hear him? Commercials.
I got him outdoors. I got him outdoors though, didn't I?
No, everybody's still in the house, man.
I forgot what the subject was. Cap, you wrong, man. Cap, you're wrong. Man, he's in there. I mean, it was good. I ain't mad at him.
Man, you good, Joseph. I knew what you meant, man. You go outside for them Juneteenth festival, man. I get that. There'd be a lot of people outside.
Look at here. look at here. I'm gonna tell you something, man. If I hadn't stopped, he'd still be talking about it, man. I said, hold on, let me stop this fella, man. Let me stop this fella, man.
I got thinking about, man, did we plant too deep in? No, I mean, but let me say this, you know, on that tip, you know, I think social media played a role of making our children anti-sociable.
Yeah.
I think that we didn't have all of those tools when we grew up. We loved outdoors. You know, that was a chance to get a chance to socialize other than going to school. But COVID-19 did a job on all of us by keeping us on the inside for so long that we found not only a way to entertain ourselves on the inside, but because outside has been made to seem, especially in the parks and recreation centers, to be very unsafe for our youth. And so there's a fear of the parent having their children outdoors to be kidnapped, having their children outdoors to be shot and killed by drive-by. So there's a lot of factors about our young people going outside today. It's not safe like it used to be, where everybody knew who your neighbor was and everybody got, you know, on each other. So we are very transit people now. We're not stable. And so you don't live in communities where you grew up in that house and you've been there 20 years, 15 years. Now it ain't that way no more. Right?
Wow. And that's truth. That's truth right there. But we still got to get them kids outside, man, some kind of way, man. And where they're safe. And we definitely have to, you know, safeguard them and make sure that they're safe and make sure they come back in the house the same way they left out. Leonard, what do you say to that, man? How do we get these children outside, man? The sun is very important to our health, I think. And that vitamin D that it gives off is very important to our health, man. So how do we get these kids outside to absorb some of the sunshine?
Man, Raheem, you know I don't really care. If you want your kids outside, throw them out and lock the door. I mean, what's the big deal?
See, now you trying to go to jail talking about throwing them out and lock the door. You trying to go to jail.
What is it all about?
You about to go to jail, Leonard. You about to go to jail.
Kids always outside or when they were young. We had to take them to the park. We had to, you know, make sure that they was doing something. Your kids outside, but they outside committing crimes.
Not all of them.
Not all of them, but don't act like they're not outside. Because these kids are outside and they're doing what they want to do, just like you did when you were young. Don't nobody want to do what you did. So quit trying to make them live your life.
It ain't nothing to do with living life. It's about them being healthy and going outside to get some of that sunshine that they need, because they stay sheltered so much. They stay sheltered so much.
As a parent, to raise them that way, to teach them how to eat right and to get exercise.
And see, that's my point. That's my point as parents, and that's why I asked the question: how do we get them outside? No. How do we get them outside?
Well, I don't know how you do it, but I just took mine outside. It wasn't no big deal.
So you just grabbed it
to go to the park today.
So you just grabbed the hand and said, "Come on, we going outside.
We going outside. We gonna throw this ball around. We gonna go down here to the lake. We gonna go fishing. We gonna do something that encourages them to be outside and want to be outside. That's my responsibility as a parent. Now, the reason why a lot of these kids don't do nothing is because their parents sit on their behind and don't do nothing. They don't want to go outside, so they tired. They don't want to spend no time with them.
Well, Leonard, the mother just got her hair dead, man. She just got her hair dead. She don't want to go out there, not done, but got her hair dead. She don't want to go out there and sweat.
And then, you know, half of us was outside because we knew that little girl was down there on that corner.
Watch yourself.
So we had to go outside and go see her. So don't put your desire for somebody else that way. It's up
I'm gonna
to
tell you
the
something.
parent.
But see, if we personalize this thing, I'm the guy that I didn't want to go inside. I wanted to stay outside. You know, that's just me. I just love being outside, man.
I just love being outside.
I'm still that way.
Right. I like one. Like Rico, for instance. Rico go on his walk. I just came back from my walk. Things like that. My kid, he running track. My other son used to play soccer and all this stuff all the time. But it's up to you to instill healthy living habits in your children. Trust me, if you take your child outside, like my wife, and we had to always, who taking him to the park today? Because he got to get out of here. You can't sit around and look at your child and say, boy, I sure wish you would go outside. For what? What you want him to do when he go out there? You ain't even got no plan for it. You just want him to go out there and just sit out there and wait for trouble to come down the street.
Just be outside. Just be outside.
Badger, what's on your heart? That kind of stuff bothers me, man, when people do that. You have to encourage that. They're your children. Raise your kids, man.
Good.
Make them go outside, but you got to go with them. You can't just throw them out like they pets.
Man, my show coming on, man. I ain't got time to go outside right now. My show coming on.
Exactly. That's exactly what most parents do. And those are the parents whose kids usually are like that. But most kids, you have to keep them in the house sometimes. You got to do your work, you got to do your chores, and then you can go outside. And then you better be back before dark.
I'm glad Leonard evolved to this, because when he started out, he wasn't trying to hear that, but now he see this is the reason for the conversation, because some of these parents don't know it, or they need to hear this. Quit thinking about you.
Right. It's a responsibility of parenting to take your child outside and expose them to nature.
Exactly. Hold on, preacher. We know you got a preacher in your brother. Badger, what's on your heart?
It's a similar direction. You know, there's some parents that I've come across, and the reason they don't take them outside is because they can't trust other people. They're fearful of, their kids getting ran over or someone taking them or whatever. And I'm like, you ain't going out there watching them? Well, I shouldn't have to. You're a parent, though. You should be watching to make sure your kids are safe, and you've instilled, don't run out in the road, those kinds of things, and making sure that they understand why those rules are in place. And be watching them. I remember when I was young, man, if I did run out in the road while my dad was inside the house or something because he had to go to the bathroom or whatever, and he caught me in that road, no thank you. I did not want the repercussions. I was more scared of my dad seeing me in that road than I was getting hit by a car.
Wow.
And I'm not saying that's a healthy way to do it, but it's you got to be involved. If you want them off the game, my kids end up hitting each other today. Guess what they got taken away immediately? They ain't getting no games today at all. I know we might come outside. Well, with the storm rolling in, we might or might not. We bring them outside, let them play in the yard and all that kind of stuff. Even though I'm upset at the cars that don't obey the speed limits around here, it's also the responsibility of us parents to make sure cops are patrolling more. Like, hey, there's people speeding down this road. We need help, and hold them accountable. It feels like we've allowed people, because we're so scared of offending someone and being thrown in court, we're blaming everything else, but not accepting the responsibility and the fact that we are the parents in this community. And if we feel our community ain't safe for our kids to be outside, then we need to do something as parents to fix it. And that's where it's at for me.
Good deal. Well, we're about, let me go to, hold on, Tucson, what do you say to that, man? How do we get these kids out of that house, man? Do we just kick them out and say, get your behind out there and go play in the yard? Don't you come back in until I tell you to. Or what or how do we do it?
Make the inside uncomfortable. I had 6 grandchildren at the house, and I was cold because the air conditioner had to be turned down a little bit because they were hot. They woke up. They stayed 3 days, I think. And I think Friday, Thursday. Anyway, when they woke up and when they went to bed, each of them had a device in their head. Every one of them. didn't brush their teeth, wash their face, nothing.
Good Lord.
When they open their eyes, listen to what I'm saying. They did it eventually, but listen to what I'm saying. When they open their eyes, the first thing they reach for is a cell phone or a tablet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
That's the first thing they did. In a cold house that they couldn't reach the thermostat, we set it for them. So what would you to do? I love I love them, but we make it convenient for them for what they want. I'm hot. Cut the air conditioner up some more, so they shut all the way off, and they're gonna go outside because it's cooler outside.
Yeah.
Take that cell phone and don't charge it. The tablet, take it. Quit letting them tell you what they're gonna do or what they're not gonna do. Remember how we used to sit at the table? You're gonna say, "All right, preacher. Oh, by the way, Raheem, Cassandra has volunteered." Cassandra, pray us out. I lied, but I just wanted to nominate Cassandra. See how I did that, Cassandra?
Good deal. Well,
because I'm gonna hang up before the time it comes.
No, you ain't gotta hang up because we're gonna go to Cassandra. You know, you don't nominate. And see, I second
which is right here. So let's move on before Cassandra cuts me out. We make it good for them kids.
This is the same dude.
You see, if they don't wanna go to church, you know what I'm saying? Stay home and say, do what I tell you till I get back. Shoot, house be in disarray when you get back.
Be a party
because you left from there.
Be a party going on, but look, see, I want y'all all y'all understand. This is the same dude right here to say make it uncomfortable in the house for them. This is the same dude to say that what he buy the kids for Christmas is batteries. He don't buy them no toys. He buy them batteries.
You doggone skip it. You doggone skip it. That was my kids. I'm talking about grandchildren now.
Oh, okay.
Because what I'm saying is, their parents did that.
Mm-hmm.
They conduct themselves at our house like they do at their house.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
So what they need to do at their house is stop making it so convenient for them. They can't, I don't know if they can, I think they're smart kids, and I'm doing my time is up right here. But I'm wondering, they can turn on an iPhone or a tablet or a computer, but some of them jokers can't spell.
Spell it.
MORTKY. It.
Spell it.
That's a hard one. That's a hard one. Can you give me an example?
You know, it's bad when he asks them to spell it, they start looking like this. Anybody have anything before we get out of here?
Raheem, there was an event today. Black men at the Capitol here in Georgia. It was one today, but it started very early this morning at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
However, I got information that they're going to do it again on March the 22nd.
Okay, March 22nd.
Black Men Day at the Capitol. And I'll send the flyer and stuff once they publish it for the 22nd.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good deal. Anybody else have anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, since I got skipped on how to get kids outside.
Oh, we didn't come to you, man.
You didn't go to.
See, here we go. Here we
go. Uno host.
Hey, watch this. Let's go. Let's do this right here. Let's go to Ryan. Ryan, how are we gonna get them kids outside?
Man, I'm starting to feel like something going on here behind the scenes.
Ain't nothing going on, brother. Trust me.
It's way out Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
Badger brought it up in chat, so I'm gonna go ahead and go there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if many of y'all saw these articles, but a few years ago, people were sending their kids outside, and neighbors calling CPS on parents for letting their kids play in the backyard by themselves.
Wow.
And CPS rolling up, taking kids for playing outside. Picture that. You can't even send them outside because someone's going to tell on you for sending your kids outside to play. That's a shame.
Yeah.
Man.
That's terrible. That's terrible.
But you know, it's a science to that, though. I mean, you know, really and truly in this day and time, you should be supervising your children. Because, you know, I think I saw a story last week where a woman's little boy or little girl was getting raped on a school bus every day.
Good Lord.
But everybody thought that they were just back there playing. I think it was in Texas. You know, we do have to monitor these children because they're exposed to so many things on these tablets and on these computers. Now look, man, they know about sex things. They know about sex acts and different, you know, things that happen now that we didn't know about till we got grown. You know, I mean, not trying to be explicit, but I saw a video where this little boy, like 3 or 4 years old, asked his mama if she could perform certain sexual things when she climaxed.
Good Lord.
I was like, man, I found that out by accident when I was grown. I didn't even know a woman could do that when she climaxed. And he was asking his mama if she could do it, like 3 or 4 years old.
Good Lord.
So, I mean, you know, it's up to the parents, man. Parents are responsible to the environments that they expose their children to. Whatever environment their children are exposed to, they are responsible for that. And if you put some children in the right environment where they are, number one, entertained, amazed, or just impressed or influenced, sometimes you can't just sit back and watch them from afar because they're going to learn from the interest. You got to find some way to entertain and reward them. And they also get them to show appreciation. I mean, you know, we brought up COVID, man, but listen, I ain't gonna lie. I love COVID. The only thing I hated about COVID time was the fact that people were dying. But man, being able to actually sit down and look at the simple things in life and appreciate it, to look at a sky without an airplane in it, to walk around in roads and streets and not see so much traffic, but every day look like 1972 Sunday when with no cars on the road because with no stores open that much. It was awesome to see that slowdown because that's what society actually sort of needed, was a time to just look back and appreciate just the basic, simple things in life that we take for granted.
That's good. That's good. And with that being said, Rico?
With that being said, if you missed today's broadcast and would like to see it or hear it in its intent, look, I'm going to stop saying that, man. We were talking about bad habits the other day, and I meant to make a comment about that. Man, I heard a dude speaking. He said entirety. And I thought he mispronounced it. And I started thinking, this is why I was thinking about apologizing to Badger. Because playing along, I mean, just get what I'm saying. Playing along and going along with the little game, it almost became a norm to me. And I subconsciously started receiving that word entirety to the point to where when I heard somebody say it right, I thought they were saying it wrong. And that's a dangerous thing. Just playing along with it. So I'm stopping from this point forward because I don't want to contribute to believing and saying something wrong and thinking it's right. And then when other people are saying it right, I'm thinking they're saying it wrong because I was like, man, I said, did he say that right? I said, entirety. I said, oh man, he said it right. What am I thinking? Going along with the game. So I ain't going along with no more game. You was right, man. But sometimes you can't play the game, man.
Man, go ahead, man. Go ahead.
That being said, it would like to see it or hear it in its entirety. You can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Look, in its entirety. You got to say in its entirety.
I'm done. I felt like a fool, man. I'm like, he said it wrong. I'm like, no, I said that's the right way to say it. I'm like, damn, Raheem.
Look, now you're going to the corner at the end of the broadcast, bro. At the end of the broadcast, you're going to the corner. There you go.
Man, that's terrible. Y'all terrible out here.
That's terrible. That's absolutely terrible. Don't make Cassandra. We need prayer right now, Cassandra.
I pass. All of these great men and women God we got on here.
Yep.
Can you get somebody else to pray, please?
No. We got, you say great men and women, right?
Absent from me. Aside from me.
Captain, pray us out.
There you go.
No, sir. Passing it to somebody else this time, dear brother. Now, I'm going to pick somebody. Come on. Is Dr. Leonard still on the line? Let Dr. Leonard pray us out.
Man, why is it so hard to get somebody to pray, man?
Yeah, he didn't hear you say you were passing the torch, Cap.
No, I ain't heard. I missed that part. I stood up and everything. Leonard, pray us out, brother.
Dear Heavenly Father, thank you once again for waking us up and allowing us to see another blessed day. We pray for peace and blessings on each and every household represented today and everyone listening online. Dear Heavenly Father, we hope that someone found an opportunity to turn to you in whatever it is they may be facing. We offer them peace and blessings in the name of our Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Because if you would have said you're going to pass, I was going to go to Rico.
Amen.
I was going to Ryan.
Nope. There you go. There you go. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Exactly. Exactly.
You don't want me to pray.
See, no, it's coming around to you. We building up to it. It's coming around to you, Ryan. Trust and believe. It's coming around to you. You might pray. You might do the prayer that Rico do. Rico, tell your prayer real quick. Tell me your prayer. What's your prayer, Rico?
God is good. Let us thank him for our food.
Lord Jesus. Lord.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
But you don't normally say Jesus wept. That's all he say. He said Jesus wept. That's all he say. Jesus wept.
That's
Amen.
magic prayer.
Listen, it's time for us to get out of here, man. It's been a great broadcast. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to thank you for allowing DKM Media Group and Associates and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:10. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple, I want you to go out there, find somebody, give them a hug, because you never know the hug that they get, or it could very well be last. Love you, and ain't nothing you could do about it. Have a great day. And we shine some light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find a turn. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. And please, please, please be blessed and give somebody some love and truth. They would appreciate it, and I'm sure that you will as well. Have a great day. Love you. See you tomorrow. If God say the same.